Okay,
Welcome
you
back to the
can.
MabiCast podcast.
We just R9. Let's go.
Yep, we're recording now. 9 was the go.
Yep. So we've got Hero here with us. MabiNerd here with us. We got Firelight here with us. That's me. Hi. And, we got some stuff to talk about.
After how long? Actually, how long has it been since the last one?
11 months or 12 months?
I
One of
didn't
the
think it was
two.
that long. I'm so sorry. That's on me.
Yeah. The last one I think we did was in December, unless we didn't do that one. I don't remember if we did December. We for sure did November last year. And then things got kind of busy and crazy in like December through now.
Through now.
I don't know, a lot that
So this
happened.
is the rebirth.
Are
It
you play?
basically is
Yeah,
like when you
yeah, yeah,
play
yeah.
Mabinogi for a while and then you stop for a brief hiatus and then you come back and your character has the old title.
hmm That's what happened here.
Yep.
There's been a lot of like really big updates actually. Uh, let's see. So we have the Arcana update in December gave us Alchemic Sharpshooter and Dark Diviner. And then since then we've also got an update to EK and Saint.
Which was
Um,
lovely. Oof.
yeah, these are massive updates to like how the game feel is overall. Um, and I see some other like stuff coming down the pipeline for like future Arcana and stuff. There's like rumors right now, but we don't know anything yet about that. But like, I was a little concerned when Sharpshooter came out. Like, I was like, I don't know if it'll take me off of Saint because I really enjoy Saint. No, like it's hard for me to go to back to Saint now. Even with the buffs to Saint, like Saint buffs are really, really cool. But like the overshields and all that. But sharpshooter's just where it's at for me. I think it's meant to be because of my accessory, the alchemy eligibility certificate
Mm.
with the
So,
4 out of 3 magnum shot
how
reforged.
exactly does playing alchemic sharpshooter work? I haven't tried it yet. Like
Okay.
I've seen clips and stuff, but break it down for us, especially nerd who has not been on
Sure.
Mabinogi.
So
Okay. hmm
talking about this jogged my memory, but I'll wait till after Rixie explains something.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
forget.
So we've got like 4 main abilities and a fifth ability that's like an ultimate that you have to charge up for, right? So you have Ignis Plume, Ventus Howl, uh, what's it? Terra Scourge and Aqua Volley are like your 4 main abilities. The Aqua Volley is like Magnum Shot, but like a cone shape. Uh, Ignis Plume is Crash Shot, but it's like just a radius, like a fireball, basically. And then Ventus Howl is a straight line, sucks everything into the center, and Terror Scourge is like a dot that just constantly hits the enemy, kind of like how Chaser does, Stardust Chaser, where it just like constantly like artillery volleys right on top of the same enemies over and over and over. Um, and the cool thing about this is that even though you only have those 4 skills as like your main abilities, the passive of it lets you choose elements every time you load a skill. So fire, water gives you more damage. Um, water, air creates a freeze effect. Uh, earth and fire gives like a bleed or a dot. In addition to like anything the skill has, the water and earth gives a debuff to the enemy that lowers its attack, and was it fire wind increases the AoE damage. It actually like gives you more hits. I was doing some testing and it looks like it get like so for Ignis Plume you get 3 hits, and then if you use fire and wind it actually goes up to 9 hits, which is weird, but it's kind of cool. And then what's the last one? There's one more. Water earth, water wind, fire wind, fire water, fire earth. No, is that all of them? That might be all of them. But Yeah, it's really cool because every time you use an ability, you get to choose one of those effects. So you're like constantly cycling through whatever the effect that's best for the situation is. So it feels really dynamic while you're actually playing it. It doesn't feel like you're just using those 4 abilities. It feels like you've got like 16 abilities and you're like picking and choosing which one you want to use at a time, any given time. And then the ultimate is Tri Assault, which is basically a railgun, and you just fire straight through everything in a straight line. Like it doesn't matter how many enemies are in the way; it just shreds all of them. You get 3 shots. It's cool.
Yeah, you elves are still overpowered. Like that is crazy. Like it's so cool, but like I don't want to use a bow. I like hitting things with
Yeah.
my sword.
It introduces, like, a lot of stuff that feels very, like, archer, sniper, like, coded. So, one of the links, makes it so that the further away from you are from the target, the more damage you deal. So you're encouraged to be farther away. So like it gives you that sniper feel where you're like, I'm actively encouraged to be as far away from the enemy as possible to deal this damage. So there's always this like moment where I'm like running backwards to get more distance, not because I'm running away from them, but because I want more damage. Um, and then one of the other links makes it so that like all the bonuses you get from the elements are more impactful. I think that's link 10. Uh, and one of the early on links gives you a movement speed bonus every time you, right after you use a skill. So every time you use a skill, you get a move speed boost, and then you're like running away from the enemy. So like you're running faster now, and you're dealing more damage for being farther away from them. And then you're running faster because you get the move speed bonus again. You just it's constantly running around. It's constant action. The skills have very low cooldowns relatively, so it feels pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, Elemental Knight got some changes too, and those are sick.
Mhm.
I don't know if you unlocked it yet, nerd, but at link 10 you can like equip all 3 of your instills, and they changed the instills so you can actually they flat out just add to the Elemental Knight skill. So like Flame will just add like 600 damage to each skill. Uh, I don't know. There's way too many to remember.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so the ice one, I think when you use Shattering Windmill, the ice one I think increases the radius of the freeze effect. Uh if you use the fire one with Blazing Assault Slash, it suctions all the enemies that you hit into the center. So like
Nice.
you jump on top of them, it sucks them all in the center. And then you have like the Shattering Windmill that freezes them all, and you get like an increased radius on the freeze. And then the if you have Lightning and Still on when you use uh, Dynavolt Smash. Sorry, I'm like trying to remember the names of these skills.
You're doing better
When
than
you
me.
use Yeah. So when you use Lightning and Still with Dynavolt Smash, it deals bonus damage to frozen enemies. So like it gives you the perfect like cycle of you jump on top of them, suction them in, freeze everything, and then hit them with like a giant Dynavolt Smash. And I think there's like a increase in the radius of the Dynavolt Smash too. There's like it's really cool effects.
Yeah,
It
each
like plays really well together now.
yeah, each instill like adds an attribute to each specific like Elemental Knight skill now. So like Thunder will uh what was it for Shattering Windmill? I think the Thunder instill will like I'm pretty sure it's more damage. I don't know. Each
Yeah.
one
A lot
affects
of
each
them are more
skill.
damage, yeah.
So you actually have
Yeah.
like a flow, a combo. So you suck them, you freeze them, and you smash them.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Wait, what?
Nothing. Nothing.
I'm sorry.
No, you didn't say anything.
Phrasing, right?
Yeah,
Phrasing.
phrasing.
Crazy, yeah.
Listen, dude, if I want to suck a bunch of enemies into the center of the dungeon and smash them, it's my own business, first and
Well,
foremost.
you can say that in the chat in Mabi now because they did update the chat filters. You can say suck.
Really?
Oh, you can.
Why would they change that at this point? It's just gonna encourage.
Well, it's just so
Listen,
funny. Have you ever like witnessed an argument in like
times are different
Mabinogi
now.
or Maple Story where people have to fight the filter just to argue with
Mhm.
each
It adds a layer to it,
Now
honestly. It makes it so
the
much
worst
funnier.
Yeah.
The worst thing is, like, when you have habits that you built from playing Mabi and, like, talking in Mabi that, like, flows over into other media. So, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of Mabi players, even on Discord, will send like, a series of short messages rather than one long message because the chat in Mabinogi will cut you off, like, it will not send your message if it's too long.
That's
So you
true.
have to send, like, several short messages or it just, like, completely erases your message, right?
That's
So
spam
even in
filter.
Discord, I see people, like, do this just because it's habit from, like, that carries over from talking in game.
Can I tell
That's
you guys?
terrifying and frustrating, all right? There's been multiple
Mhm,
times where, like, someone's asking something, and I'm trying to type quickly, like, we're either doing something, or I type a response, and then I walk away, and then it never sent because
mhm,
it was too long.
And can I tell you a secret? Someone told me this the other day. But do you know
mm,
at the bottom how it's like normal guild system, all the
yeah,
filters for chat?
Yeah.
The golden benchmark for the cutoff is around system. So if you stop around that, you're good. Your message will go through.
mhm,
Oh.
I never thought that I should just, test it out and try it where it gets cut off, but somebody told me that and it's been a game changer after
mhm.
all this time.
The weirdest thing that someone told me that's like a uniquely Mabinogi quirk. This is the last like slightly off topic thing I'll say. I promise. I might say something else, but
Yeah,
for now I
we're
promise.
go ahead.
You could tell the age bracket that somebody's in immediately based on if they have a specific emote in Mabinogi.
Oh man.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, you said it the other day on
Oh yeah,
stream.
I did. Yeah. Yeah, you could tell by using special dance. They were joking about it in Korea.
Oh, the, Gangnam Style?
Do you have the Gangnam Style emote
Mm,
in age bracket your count? It dates you
Carbon dated.
yeah, I do have
for a
that
few
one.
other ways, but that was the funniest way.
Mhm. Uh,
What I was gonna say though, on the topic of like the updates, I just posted a
mhm.
link on Twitter. I got to
That
log
is that
on.
is a future update, we don't have that yet.
Oh, that's not that.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I won't say it. Thank you. Thank you for saving this. Thank you for saving us. You saved us.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for that update too, but that's not the Arcana updates that we've gotten. I do wanna talk about, like, a little bit about Saint because it struggles with popularity because listen, I cannot for the life of me figure out how Dark Diviner is supposed to play. Like I like logistically, I understand it, right? I understand you use this skill, then this skill, then this skill, right? And like this is how these skills function alongside your regular mage. I understand it. I just cannot like when I'm in the game and I'm actively trying to like play the game, I cannot for the life of me figure out what a dark diviner is supposed to do. Like it's just like my mind just goes white. It's like what is happening right now? Like I don't understand any of these skills. Like I know what they do, but I don't like I can't like function. It feels so weird. It's like there's like this mental block for me on Dark Diviner. I just have no idea what's going on.
That's okay. We got
Um,
enough of them. You don't need to be a dark
yeah,
diviner.
right.
That's the
But
class that
like,
has that black hole skill, right?
Yeah.
yeah. It is well, okay. I don't know which one you're talking about, but the vortex, the one with the skull face and the
Yeah.
like the tornado. Yeah, okay, that one, yeah. Um, so that like that class really overpowered. And the reason that it's overpowered, there's two reasons. The one is that the barrier to entry is very ridiculously low. If you have a Celtic like druid staff or whatever, just like mid game equips, you get Dark Diviner, you get high links on it. You're immediately like doing like Glenbarna, Crombass, like Crom 100s, like everything. There's nothing that limits you from the game. Uh, Elite, what is it? No, they're hard now. Tech 2 and hard missions. Like you're wiping those even with like Celtic Druid if you have Link 10 Dark Diviner. And the second reason is that it's really high burst damage. The cooldowns are pretty long compared to the other Arcana because like EK, you feel like you're always doing something because like the cooldowns are almost like as long as it takes to cycle through the skills. Sharpshooter feels the same way, but Dark Diviner, like the skills on cooldown for a while. But when you use it, like everything just dies, right? So it's really popular for those two reasons. And I feel like Harmonic Saint kind of takes a back seat because it's the other mage, right? Because it also gives like your magic attack and all that sort of stuff, but it just doesn't have the burst damage or any of that Dark Diviner gives. But Saints are so strong. I don't know. Have you been in a party with the Saint like recently, Hero?
Yeah, I have. It's especially when you get two of them. Oh my god, it's so nice. You'll never die.
Yeah. Not only do you never die, if you have the overshields on, you don't get knocked back, you don't get hit stun, like you can completely ignore it. It's like you have Iron Will on permanently.
And that big black circle too, it actually
Yeah,
restores your
the pulse.
health and MP.
Yeah, pulse of purification, and it also gives you a warmth of life bonus. I don't remember exactly all the effects that warmth of life gives, but it's on top of that.
Yeah, they're broken in a good way. It's nice to have.
And then they also change it so that the echoes of salvation uh, instantly recovers your MP and stamina, which is huge. So if somebody's like running low on MP or something, you just boom, and now you have a ton of MP. And it's an AOE. It's hard to miss.
Yeah, it's I love it.
Good. Saints are so strong. I wish there were more Saints. Like, yeah, damage is great. Damage makes the run goes faster, but Saints make it feel better.
Nice having a dedicated healer in Mabi, finally, after all
Mm-hmm.
these
Mm-hmm.
years.
So the issue is there's a shortage of saints because no one wants to be the healer. They want to be unga bunga punch things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dark Diviner's too strong. It's not balanced for the equipment that we have and everything that exists in everything.
There was a dark diviner
It's
in
too
your
strong.
your last stream, Hero. They kept just nuking through those rooms for Shadow Wiz for the Shadow Wiz spam.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're absolutely correct, man.
Yep. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about the Saints. We need more of them. Please play Saint.
We should
We
just
have enough
run
Dark
an
Diviners.
orchestrated campaign, a coordinated effort to make all sorts of like little propaganda videos for getting more people to
Yep.
become harmonic saints.
There's I don't know if you know Winter. So Winter's Gift in her server, there's a group of people that were making like a why you should be our alchemic sharpshooter, why you should be elemental knight, right? They were making
Yeah.
like PowerPoint presentations for each of the arcana.
Oh yeah.
It was hilarious. Um yeah, the one person was upset because they're the only sharpshooter in the guild because like most people are dark diviners, honestly. And that's understandable. Like I understand why you'd choose EK, Saint, or Dark Diviner over Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter is the most expensive build by far. It's hard to get damage for Sharpshooter, but once you have the damage, it's a lot of damage. It's hard to do.
And it's hard to get damage. It's an elemental knight. Like even with these changes, like
Hmm.
I will nowhere compare to a dark diviner ever.
Yeah, yeah. Dark Diviner is just broken. I'm just gonna put that out
The
there.
only
It's just
reason I'm not a dark diviner or an alchemic sharpshooter or a harmonic saint is because I'm surprised I even got to where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
give yourself a pat
Go
on the
ahead.
back. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's the combined efforts of other people helping me, like Rixie.
Hmm. Certified Elemental Knight right here.
Let's go. I just remember getting sped run through it for that stream.
Yeah. Dude, that
It
was wild. That was so wild. Like
was
they
crazy.
put the restriction on Glen Berna, which it's so wild to think about like how much we struggled with that on the test server, like when we were showcasing it. And now it's like I can run through it like with my eyes closed almost, it feels like.
Oh, no doubt. This morning I was
It's
doing Glen
crazy.
runs, and
Mhm.
Brett actually dropped by, and
Mhm.
dude, he just carried one side by himself. There was like three of us on one
Mhm.
side, and him and just like this recently, it's his first time running Glen. He just handled that side no issue. Like
Yeah.
I was in awe. I was literally like, "What the hell is going on, man?"
Mhm. Mhm.
That
That
is
shit
crazy.
PvP.
Me and bra.
Yeah, I want to see.
So the higher you advance, the less PvP means anything. It's kind of like whoever gets the first shot in, is just gonna be the winner.
Mm.
Because there's
Instead,
no like even if we're at 0%, I can't speak for Bra, but like I can deal like 2 times somebody's health bar in damage at 0% for PvP.
Be a good short, man.
I could offer an alternative.
Yeah.
Blades and rocks. Choose you gotta you versus Bra, and you choose two of your defense members. You choose two other
Oh, the
people.
the PvP
3v3.
arena with the Judgment Blade and Throwing Rock only.
Yeah. I miss
Yeah.
that. We gotta do that again.
That's
That
a
was fun.
fun game mode.
It needs to be a real thing. Like the more I thought about that
Yeah.
specific
Mhm.
one, I'm like, that was so fun. It was actually really well balanced and put everybody, regardless of like their level, on a pretty even
Yeah,
playing
because
field.
you get hit by a blade, like, you're done. You're kinda out anyway, like, or you're at, like, 0 HP,
Yeah.
You're dead. Like, it was not like, "Oh, this person over here has a better blade," so, like, they hadn't no, like, anybody hit you with a blade, like, everybody was pretty equal under that.
We basically created dodgeball and Mabinogi.
Yeah, it was fun. Speaking of, like, alternative game modes and stuff like that, they did introduce the mini game function. Have you guys messed around with that at all?
Not one bit.
I got really excited, ran to the minigame stuff, and then I got
Mhm.
significantly less excited because none of them are multiplayer almost.
Yep. That was my main criticism. Like, there was a bit where, like, I was able to play alongside people, like, we were all in a VC together, and we were, like, competing against each other to see who could get the better score, but we're all playing by ourselves.
Yeah.
And this is, like, the same, like, vein as, like, doing Festia things together, except it's not actually together, we're just doing it side by side. Um, yeah, I think that was a missed opportunity. They need more multiplayer game modes other than just Mafia.
And it's painful because, like, I feel like somebody understood half the message. I remember, the
Yeah.
producer, like, read my thing about, wanting more, like, yeah, wanting more activities in the game, right? But, like,
Mhm.
fundamentally, the point of activities is to, like, give you other things to do outside
That
of,
aren't
like yeah,
that
no
aren't
like,
end game, that aren't, like, dungeons and stuff like that, like, something you can
yeah.
do with your friends just because. Yeah.
And so, like, the fact that, what's the other one called? Mafia exists in the game proves that you can spawn people into instance rooms for mini games. And there
Yeah.
are so many prime, like, examples of good events that are just little instance things that you could use. Like, for example, I keep going back to this, it's like a broken record on it. The water balloon fight, that could be
Mhm.
a really fun mini game that you can just spawn into that same area and have two teams, you control it, and it could be a team water balloon battle, capture the flag.
Mhm.
You could bring back like the labyrinth. Everyone wants the labyrinth to come back. You could bring back some of Mobby's greatest hits. You could even rotate
Mhm.
them by season if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was gonna say exactly that, like, you could even rotate them so that, like, you're worried about if you bring it back as an event that people aren't gonna wanna do it because they can always do it, so it's not, like, fresh, but if you just have, like, a 3-month rotation where, like, "Alright, these 3 months we have the water balloon fight, the next 3
Yep.
months we have, like, I don't know, the moon jumping thing or something, like, but, like, we always have access to it, it's not tied to an event, it's just, like, you have this rotating cycle of things.
Yeah.
Dragon boating would be I think you could do dragon boating in an instance, right?
You could do dragon boating in an instance, I think. Also, to that note, I even said like even taking a system let's be honest. MapleStory 2 is dead anyways. Take the feature from MapleStory 2 where there's these pop-up events that you could just choose to join into that are timed, that are just
Hmm,
little mini games as well. That could be fun. Also fix
yeah,
Mafia. Mafia is still broken.
yeah. Mafia
They
needs
implemented it
it needs it so that you don't vote somebody out on night one.
At the very least, right? If there was one thing they could change, just change that. That one feature
Hmm.
is fundamentally not how Mafia works. You know that's how Mafia works. That old meme. That's not how Mafia works.
Hmm. Do you guys see anything about like the Royal Association? Have you participated in that at all, Hero?
No. I was actually waiting until I get all my Solana stuff, and then I was gonna try and get blacksmithing.
I see. Um, there's I see like good and bad for it, right? So the bad things I see are there's nothing for magic crafting or for engineering, which are two of the things that are like most used for crafting end game stuff. So you kind of miss, right? Like the stuff that everybody that want like the things everybody wants, there's no association for. The other side of it is it's fantastic that we now have the Royal Association enchanters because prior to that update, the highest percentage you could get for a burn success rate to get the enchant off of a weapon was 88%, which is too low. 88% feels really bad when you've got like a haunted accessory and you're trying to get the haunted enchant and you're like, there's just a 12% chance I never see this again. Like I'm just losing this. And that's I feel like too high for the value of items that we're burning at this point.
And in Mabi, 12% is actually like 50%. Like if I'm being
Yeah,
real.
yeah. Like I've failed like I mean even when you get to like repairing weapons 90% means oh well it's going to lose durability. It doesn't mean like 90% success rate. Oh yeah, like that's a pretty high success. No, it's like that feels low. Um yeah, so it's kind of weird. I also think it's weird that it's tied to your achievements. So like if you want to get the Royal Blacksmith for Saluna, you're gonna have to fill out your entire achievements like journal.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you need I think like most of them have like 13,000 points
You know
I
in the
why
wonder.
they
journal.
did that? A, it's
Oh, is it
to
fake
make
then?
people play the game longer. B, it's to make old content relevant. So that way there's a reason to do it.
That's not
Guaranteed.
even that's not even true because like yeah, there's the achievements for getting total level to a certain level to a certain point. I think it's like 20K, 40K, whatever it is, right? There's an achievement 10K, I don't know what it is. There's the achievements for doing the missions. So this is the weird thing is like when you do a shadow mission, you have to do it on every single difficulty to then get the full achievement for the mission. Which is goofy that, like, I went through and I was like, "Oh, I've never run this one on basic, but I ran this one on basic and advanced, but I never ran it on intermediate, so I have to do this one on intermediate. And this one, for whatever reason, I never ran it on basic, intermediate, hard, like, advanced or hard. I only ran it on elite." And it's like, "Okay, so I've gotta go and do this on, like, 4 different difficulties just to get the achievement for it." Um, and then the one that's broken, I think, is um, was it Coil or Bari? There's one of the dungeons, there's not an intermediate version of is it Feod? Might be, I don't know. There's not an intermediate version of the dungeon, so you can't actually get the achievement for the dungeon, like the full achievement,
Huh.
which is weird. And then the majority of the like points and stuff that people aren't gonna have is like the cooking journal, the transformation journal. You need okay, I understand when you say like it's to make old content relevant again, right? But how is somebody supposed to collect 300 NPC transformations?
Real money.
Oh, some of those. aren't aren't some of them not attainable anymore? Like some are only attainable through a gachapon, right?
For the most part, kind of ish. Like they come back in events and stuff like that. They're relatively like available, but like the fact that you need that many to get the achievement, and then there's like the transformation, like the not NPC transformations is like 500 of them or something like that. I don't
Right.
remember the exact numbers, but yeah, it's like that doesn't like feel like it's making old content relevant. It's just like really weird niche things that have nothing to do with blacksmithing, tailoring, or enchanting that are now super relevant to blacksmithing, enchanting, and tailoring.
Yeah, I'll never become a royal artisan then. Screw that.
They do
I'm with
also
you.
so like you do also get points for completing Royal Association quests. So like you can supplement your journal points with these quests, but there's like a limited number you can do, and everybody has the same limit. So like if you just max those, it's just about the journal points, which is weird, but it's like
A weird ass system.
yeah, yeah. Like
I'll never
I
be a
don't like
royal anything.
I don't hate it, but it's weird.
You're a royal in my heart.
Origa,
Yeah.
thank you, gozai much.
Since that update, I've been a Royal Alchemist every week though. That's fun.
All right, but here's the real question: do you get
Mhm.
an alternative pose? Is that still
I
a thing?
don't know. If it was a thing, it's still a thing probably. I think it is a thing. I just
It'd be funny if they like added to because there's like different types of like you said, it's a royal association now. But I remember a lot of
listen, I'm
people used to want to
mhm.
become royal alchemists just so they could cross their arms as a human.
uh I'm already cursed because so you remember how I mentioned that alchemy eligibility certificate that I have on? Yeah, if I like have my like if I switch off of my weapon so I have like nothing in my hands, it just does the certificate's animation. So
Oh,
I'm not a great person to ask if there's an animation for it.
you're kind of animation locked.
Yeah, I'm cursed. I'm cursed with the certificate.
That's funny. So they get you.
Mhm.
I will
You guys
I
see anything about like the astrologer talent coming up?
Loosely, haven't been deep diving it. I kind of want to be shocked and awed by it when it comes
Yeah,
out.
me either.
I got to
I've
play a little
seen
bit of it.
ooh,
I didn't
how
realize
was it?
it was fun. I'm excited for that one. That was a really fun talent. It seems like you got a lot more versatility.
Mhm.
I like the crowd control. I like the combos. It felt more arcadey. That's the word I'm looking for. It felt more arcadey. At
I'm
first,
okay
I
with
was a
that.
little overwhelmed because, mind you, I was looking at a lot of the stuff in Korean, but there was like
Mhm.
a lot the skill. There was a lot of different skills, but then I realized it's because you can customize them, so that made
Oh,
Yes.
things a little bit different. It's like okay, that makes more sense, because
Mhm.
but it looks fun. It was fun. I say it looks fun. It was fun. I like it.
nice. I
That's cool
love
to
it.
know. Yeah, I've looked at like what the actual like active skills do. I haven't looked at like the passive like customizing and all that. I haven't looked at that part of it, but I've looked at like what the skills do, and I think it's like um it's gonna do a similar thing to what Chains does right now, where it's like kind of a crowd control thing. So it's a
That
good like
dash.
secondary. It's a really really good secondary weapon.
Yeah, isn't the weapon a scythe?
Yeah,
Yeah, I might have to do
Lights
that as
are
my secondary.
relevant.
yeah.
But
It's
here's my
a
question:
go ahead.
does that mean the older Sibes
No,
are they still? No, they're not right.
The
yeah,
fox one.
they don't count.
They're fake.
Hmm.
They're fake. That's okay. Oh, I have a really cool scythe that I spent an arm and a leg for. That's also not really a scythe. So I guess I just have to accept the fact that it's just a vanity weapon.
Hold on to it.
Hmm.
That thing's gonna become like a historical artifact.
Garashi armor,
Hmm.
relevant.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's supposedly next month.
Crazy.
Big hype.
Hmm. Well,
Also,
when this goes up this month, it'll be
yes,
this month,
yes, exactly. Good
So
old
it's literally,
December.
so you're already an astrologer right now, listener. Yeah, it's you.
possibly.
I'm in
Possibly.
your walls.
Nah.
Well, I mean, if they're Korean, maybe, but I'd be surprised if they
Well,
listen this long.
we don't know. I mean, you know, there might be some from Avid. There might be some Avid. There might be some consistent Korean viewers.
Actually, you know what? 2% of my viewers are Korean and they watch with subtitles, and then 1% of my viewers are Japanese and they watch with subtitles. So you're not wrong.
Bro, can I just say, I will never use Google Translate to implement subtitles for another language on my videos ever again.
What
How
happened?
bad was the mistake?
It's pretty bad. It turned something innocent sounding into the equivalent of a sexual innuendo. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
So did you like not cross check these translations on like other
No,
translation sites?
I just blanket put it on there, thinking, yeah, you know, this will work. That'll work.
Or maybe, you know what?
And then sometimes translations come off as like really, really blunt. So like you could be talking about something very serious
Hmm.
and wholesome, but then you just come off as just like this arrogant, rude person.
That would explain why Nexon Korea has never gotten back to me. I've spent so long spamming them, and
They're
that would
just
make
like,
sense.
try next on Japan. They are a smaller, more personable team, and they're less corporate.
I don't need anything from them. I can play on their server easily, but Korea, that's a whole nother issue.
That's true.
Like, I think you could buy an account, but that might be breaking
Yeah,
TOS.
that's
Ooh.
not for us.
Next on officer watching this. This was satire. This was satire. Use
I
no-
gotcha, April Fools, suckers.
yeah, loser. I mean, what?
I didn't say it.
Mm.
All I know is, sorry, I got really quiet because I thought there was something moving in my room that was a large spider, but it was not.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm good.
happened to me 2 times tonight.
I was ready to go nuclear. I was ready. It's just the dust bunny, but I digress. What
That
I
is
think that it's really
resource amplifier.
interesting. The differences. I was talking to somebody in Korea about why like our test server is completely private and their test server is public, and why is that? And I don't know why that is.
Wait.
But
They have a public test server?
yes, anybody can go. So like, there's
Mhm.
a clip that I shared in the group chat, and that was on the test server.
Yep.
Oh, I think I know why.
Yeah, they're
Um, your account's like tied to your real identity, so like if you do some shady shit, they know who you are. But NA, there's like not much in terms of like
well,
identification.
here's the other thing. In Korea, it's new content and they're actually testing it. For here, we're not actually testing.
That's true.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, like
just
the update's
promoting.
already planned. It's already gone through all the checks and balances. They already know exactly what the formulas and the numbers are going to be. They're not like trying to figure out like if they should have like a higher or a lower percentage. So like in Korea, the public test server is like a public test.
Actually testing it.
Yeah.
I guess,
So they want as much information as they can get. Whereas over here, it's kind of just to benefit us to get the content out earlier,
and
It's
which is
also
huge
just
for us. But
a translation check.
yeah,
translation check.
yeah, it's
That's the
turned into
real.
that a few times.
It's also just really interesting how intrinsically encoded looks. I'm using big words and I'm hoping they make sense, but they probably don't. So it's probably a different
Mm,
word that I meant to use.
I get your drift.
Entwined
mhm,
gaming culture is in Korea. But I'll save that topic when we talk about like traveling stories because man,
yeah.
gaming culture is cracked out there. I understand why. I have a better understanding of why certain accounts are tied to like the equivalent of your social security. It's just a thing out there. It's crazy.
We can talk a little bit about travel now. Like, we'll start with like the early, well, middle of
Yeah,
last year. We all
cool.
went to the Mixer.
Yeah, let's talk about the
Oh,
Mel Mixer.
what a trip. Jeez
How
Louise.
was that your first time in the States, Hero?
First time in LA. I went down to like Maine on the East
Okay, okay.
Coast, but that's
hmm
it.
So first
That's
time West
like
Coast.
night that the contrast between those two places and your experience in the US from Maine to California is
hmm
interesting.
Okay, so where I live is kind of more like Maine, but a little bit smaller, right? So
hmm
to even go from something like that to LA, dude, the whole time my brain was fried. I was like, what the hell? Why is there so many people? Why is there so much shit going on? Like I was literally just overstimulated the whole time, and like
I
hmm
believe it.
it was wild, but it was so sick. It's like partially convinced me that I want to move out of the East Coast.
You came to LA too at probably one of the most cracked times to be in LA.
Oh, it was so fun though.
hmm
Like I was stressed, but I was having so much fun. But yeah, Mel Mixer. I guess leading up, we can talk about that.
hmm
I guess the most noteworthy thing would probably be, I don't know, meeting everyone in person. I guess that was kind of sick.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah,
How did
that was really cool.
expectation versus reality, how did it stack up for everybody?
uh, for me, it's like it was a bit of like, what if I'm just super lame compared to everyone else? And I was like, I don't know. It's just like weird self doubt, especially like
Mm,
a lot of it was fine because like I talked to you guys, so like I wasn't worried about meeting you, but like other content creators, other Mabi players was like, man, what if I'm just hated? And it was nothing like that. Everyone's super cool, super chill. But it was nice. But I guess it was kind of like almost like stage fright because
hmm
Feel
while it
that?
was a fun trip, it was also kind of like a pseudo business trip, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't fully know what to expect going into that, you know?
Yeah,
So I
hmm
exactly.
completely understand that feeling of like the nerves. How are people going to perceive you? Are you going to get along with everybody else? I
By
completely
the way,
understand that.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all three of us have videos on our channels, like talking about our whole experience with the trip,
That's
right?
true.
I don't know. Yeah. So if you want like more details on that, you can go see each of our perspectives on a lot of that. Um, but I don't really like. I don't think I really dived into like the whole like experience on like the mixer and all that. Like I touched on a little bit, but um,
Yeah,
it
if
was
you
kind of
want,
cool seeing like how many people were actually there.
yeah, that was crazy. I wish actually the Mabinogi channel has like footage of the lineup to get in, and
hmm
walking past that line, just to brag a little bit, felt so good being able to cut a line that long. Like
hmm
it's just like not something I was expecting, especially for a Mabinogi event, and to feel like a
hmm
pseudo celebrity for like a dinky little game that we all love. It just felt kind of surreal. Like it just did not feel real. But even then, it was just so cool to see all the people coming out to show love for a game like this.
And the
It,
cosplays and stuff too. Like
yeah.
that was like
Speaking of
crazy.
cosplays,
Mhm.
The cosplay game was on point this year, man.
yeah, you would know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Melting in that rat suit. Man, that was the hardest thing though. Because I felt like I was kind of a ghost, kind of like a lurker
Mhm.
for the event. Even though, let's be honest, I think my cover was pretty solidly blown within 2 seconds of being in the place.
Dude, easily. So a little more context on that. Um, I was actually sitting on the second floor with Ursi talking to her, and I
Mhm.
looked over and I was like, "Who the hell is that rat?" And Ursi was like, "I have no clue." I was like, "Bro, they're gonna die." I'm gonna wait for them to take their mask off. Then you started dancing while me and Arcee were talking. I was like, oh, I know who that is.
Told you. The second you start dancing, man.
He literally, we sat in a restaurant. Like we met incognito and sat in a restaurant. And then Firelight said, literally just don't dance. Whatever you do, don't dance. And then because he's like, yeah, as soon as you dance, everyone's gonna know it's you. Like, nah,
Not
yeah.
because listen, I wanna clarify, not because it's bad, but because you're so iconic and because you do the dances so well, people know, "Oh, the only person that has ever done that well is MabiNerd."
And the confidence behind the dances too.
Yeah.
Like anyone else, you'd be like, what a goofy ass dance, but you have so much confidence where it looks good.
I appreciate that, man. Y'all about to make me like all embarrassed about it though. Breaking the illusion. I don't know, man. I think it's if you move with confidence, I think it is different. I don't know. I just already think I look stupid, so I just embrace it.
Yeah, you send it, right?
It's full send it, yeah.
There's there was one conversation that was kind of funny to me while we were there, um, and it was so you were still in the suit, and I don't think you'd have revealed yourself at that point yet, and, uh, I think it got brought up, like, whoever was there, that you were dressed as the black ship rat, and somebody said you weren't black enough.
Oh
Oh, the
yeah,
Asian
I
dude.
remember that.
Dude, we had
Oh,
like a multi-race racism off go on. It was wild. I was like, how? How? What is going on?
what was funny about that statement was the immediate walk back when they realized, oh wait, what I said might be a little bit racist.
He's like, oh shit, we're not in game right now. I can't say that.
Was
But they were
wait,
cool.
was this two separate instances? Were you at the bar when he said that, Firelight?
I
I
was
think
there.
all three of us were.
Oh, okay. My memory is kind of a blur because I had rat suit tunnel vision and I was dying of a heat stroke.
Mm.
So like I had to look back at old footage to like remember some stuff, and I was late. I was really late to it. And can I just say too, going to the mixer in the rat suit should not have been as awkward as it was with an anime convention going on. But for some reason, it was incredibly awkward.
Yeah, I can imagine. The
Um,
hotel that it was hosted at was kind of nice. And I
mhm.
can tell some of the staff, they were like shooting looks at some of the people walking in their costumes. They're like,
Bro, that was
what
Mm.
the
like a
hell did we
fancy,
sign
like,
up for?
ritzy hotel. The hotel I was staying at was the same one we stayed at last year, and a little bit of a story there. There was a big protest that happened at that hotel where all the workers went on strike. Now, I didn't know this until someone informed me, but being a rat is symbolic of crossing a picket. It's a protest thing. It seems a protest thing. If you dress as a rat in front of a business, it's like sending a message. So me walking out of that hotel as a rat, I was getting some looks, man. And it wasn't the cosplay thing. It was like oh, you're doing this again, you know?
Dude, that's
So
just your luck.
That
I
would have
didn't
been
know. That's
strange, yeah. I
really good.
think I think for me, it might have been because I was running around, like, trying to get footage of everything, like, with the cameras, with the mics, and everything like that. So it kinda, like I was in the moment, but I was also, like, paying attention so that I don't lose a camera, you know? It took me out of the moment a little bit,
Yeah,
but it felt, like, too short. It felt
it
too short.
it
It's
did feel
fast.
too short.
That's why
I was
we
like,
need another campfire.
"Yep."
Honestly, uh, my biggest concern. Thank God for footage. Thank God I was recording because uh, I honestly was too focused on recording and also too focused on like not stumbling while recording. Because once they took off the limit for the bar and they're like, we need to sell this many drinks for this event to be a success, I was like, okay, bet. And that's all I was focused on. I was telling everyone. I was like, go get your drinks now. We got 30 minutes.
You heard it
I
here
still
first, folks.
I
Hero
still have mine.
single-handedly let them reach the drink quota.
No, 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 no. I don't.
There were a couple of people. There were a few.
Yeah.
He had help. He had help.
Oh my god. So, in the middle of the mixer, I realized that it was too loud to actually record in there, and I was like kind of thinking ahead, surprisingly, especially since I was drunk. But I was like, all right, how am I gonna bridge this all together? And so I went into the alleyway to record, and I could see as I was like yapping and recording, people would come out in the back. I think I left a bit of it in the video, but they started smoking and they were like, "Who the fuck are you? And what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh
What?
boy." And I was like, "Oh well." They came from the mixer too, which was funny, but
Hmm.
they just seemed so perplexed that somebody was like recording and talking to a camera when other people were recording and like live streaming too. It just caught me off guard. But
That's
yeah,
so baffling to me. Like, it's super weird when people, because it seems like this weird phenomenon where people act like they're surprised when they see somebody creating any type of video in public. But like, you're in California, you
L.A.
throw a rock, you're gonna hit somebody who's a vlogger or a YouTuber. All right, this is my biggest, honestly, my biggest peeve, and it does tie into something that I encountered a lot on the trip because I got to meet a lot of content creators.
Hmm.
But it made me appreciate something, and also it made me realize something, and it's looping back to LA. I started to realize it in LA this year specifically because I didn't get to, because I was being incognito, I didn't really get to try to communicate. I got to socialize with you guys mostly near the end of it.
Hmm.
So I had to kind of find my own adventure, and I really lucked out uh, meeting a Mabinogi player who ended up being our Uber driver,
It's so
and he
wild.
just like took us off on adventures. And yeah, he's still a homie to this day. We still like communicate. And he's like, "When's the next meetup? When are y'all coming back to LA?" He's a goat. But I
Hmm.
also unfortunately met some of the most insufferable people known to man. All of them claiming to be some form of content creator, and it's like as soon as they ask like, "What are you there for?" Like, "Oh, well," I said, I do YouTube videos for a really niche game. It's really nothing big." Like, "Oh yeah, you make YouTube videos? I'm a YouTuber myself. I'm pretty big on the internet. Well, what do you do?" And they keep yapping. I said one word. I didn't hit another word in that whole conversation, and that kept happening. And it was so funny because my friend who was with me, he was talking about, I was like, "Man, people talk a lot out here." I was like, "You have no idea, bro." And as we're talking about it, because I was recording with my camera walking, a random person walks up in the middle of us and starts talking about their channel and Bitcoin. And I'm like, "Dude, nobody asked."
Dude, trying to get people to buy shit in LA, like especially like digital like shit, is crazy. Like me and Jade had it happen to us while we are in a fucking Uber on the way to Anime Expo. The guy
Oh,
was
yeah.
trying to sell us stocks. I'm pretty sure it's his stocks, so that way he would make money off of us.
Like a pump and dump scheme, y'all in the
Yeah, I was like, man, what? And he went on for the whole drive, talking about how his daughter did it, and his son-in-law, and now they're rich. And I'm like, all right, that's why you're driving Uber, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, buddy, let me tell you all about cryptocurrency and why you can be rich like me. You see, I drive a Tesla here in LA. Even though there's a government program that makes Teslas more affordable to LA residents. That's why most people have them out there.
Yeah, it's just
My government appointed Tesla.
LA culture is so weird, but it's so funny to me. Like,
It's good.
it tickles a weird part of my brain where I'm like, oh man, this is so entertaining.
The wildest thing to me meeting everybody was, and this is what I was gonna say earlier in contrast, right?
Hmm.
Everybody who I've met, who I've talked to, like you guys and other people from the Mabinogi community, are exactly the way I thought they'd be in real life. Even people who I had like barely any interaction with, but still like met by extension. I was like, "Oh, that's why you see, yeah, yeah, that's you, yeah, that's you." Like Lon and Dan, they're like
Hmm.
exactly what I expected. Like, yep, that's what I expected.
Yeah,
Hero, yep,
honestly,
not
Lon.
what I expected.
Oh,
You.
what do you mean?
You just seem like a chill dude. Not the meme, but just like
I'm just
I
a
was
chill
able to just
guy.
walk up and talk to you, bro. Like, yeah, like I immediately knew it was you, but also it's like, yeah, no, your personality is pretty much the same on and offline. You're not like, to some extent, I
Mhm.
feel like we exaggerate. It's not a bad thing. I think that it's just a normal thing when you create stuff online that you're only really showing like one part of yourself to people. So I always kind of take that with a grain of salt. To be like, all right, I'm seeing one half of a person, but going to the mixer and talking to everybody, I was like, all right, but everyone seems to be a little bit more genuine than I expected. It's about 1 to 1 almost. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
not supposed to see like 100% of somebody, but I think I got a good idea. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, it does. Yeah, honestly, everyone was actually like super nice at the mixer. I don't think I mean, the craziest thing was also like probably only the comment of like, hey, you have to be blacker to be a black shipwreck, or you're not black enough.
Not black enough. Well,
Mhm.
That was the
I
only
The
crazy
costume
thing.
was a
know
little
that
gray.
dude, so I kind of expect. I mean,
But
I didn't take it personally, but it is like a wild
Yeah.
comment to say.
yeah, like honestly, like he just wasn't thinking and he thought it was funny. But outside of still not right, but outside of that, I think that was like the only bad thing at the mixer. Like everyone else was like super very like chill and civil.
That's true.
For sure.
That's true. Even the staff, they seem pretty like tickled by the event going on.
Dude, especially what's his name? He came out from Korea just to make a few announcements. Um, I don't know his name, but he was
Call
like,
him full Korean guy.
yeah, he was like a tall Korean dude. It's like, yeah, and a message from our producer, yada yada. Um,
I
I don't
missed
know.
that. I was downstairs.
That's fair. Well, he was greeting everyone goodbye or saying goodbye. But either way, he was super chill. Like, he seemed like he was having fun. Everyone was super chill in terms of Nexon staff.
That game's community is so passionate, both here and like abroad, that it's really it's refreshing to see. Like a lot of people who are like in it, like actually in it, right? You
Mhm.
can tell that they want to share what they see in the game with everybody else and connect with more people. And that was probably like the biggest thing I took away from even fantasy party, and even this year, like talking to people who played the game like on the street, bro. It's so weird when you meet another Mabinogi player. It's like it's like winning the lottery. It's such a rare occurrence, right?
Mhm.
But to talk to multiple people on the street and there being a like not a 50% chance, but let's say like for even 40% chance, like yeah, either they played Mabinogi or they know about Mabinogi was the consensus. And that was bizarre, so bizarre to me. And then they're surprised that like the game is popular everywhere else too. And the want to connect with those players and just that's just interesting to me. So like a lot of people who work on the game in Korea who are actually like really passionate about it, same with Japan actually too. They definitely have an interest and a desire to connect with other people. I think that there should be more opportunities to do that. There should be more collaboration.
Bro, if
That'd be
Nixon
cool.
hit us up right now, I'd be like, book me the flight. I'm on my way. I would be so down.
I've been
There's
making
a
a
few
push
of
to
us
get
that
a
are
fly some
learning
people out
Korean
to
too,
LA.
like specifically for that.
Wait, say again?
There's a few of us that are specifically learning Korean just for that. Not myself, but I know a few people that are taking Korean courses.
That's dope.
Mhm.
Okay, here's the thing. I have such a bad memory that I could learn it, but if they don't end up sending me out there, I would lose it all. And I'd be like, well,
Mhm.
what was the point?
Well, I will say this. Apparently, like Hangul was designed to be easy to learn in terms of reading, but the difficulty comes in learning to speak it.
You know what? I'll just Google Lens everything and try my best. It'll be more
That's
entertaining that
Or
way.
bad.
yeah, we're living in a wild age for technology.
Listen, I could share if I could share a dumb story, all right? So
Mhm.
I was I was there with a couple other content creators who are also not from Korea, and they were very skittish about like just going into random restaurants. And I'm like, bro, don't be a coward, bro. Let's just walk in. He's like, no, man. Like, what if we go in there and it's like cow intestines, cow intestines, or something weird? I don't want to eat that. It's like, dude, all right, that's a pretty minimal view of food abroad. The odds of that happening are slim to none. I can't think of a single restaurant that would sell something wild like cow guts for you to eat. Like, look, and I like went into a random restaurant. Like, let's go. This is going to one. It's like, all right, we're trusting you, bro. Like, yeah, no, you can trust me. We go into a random restaurant. We sit down, and now a lot of restaurants do this thing where they put down a bunch of stuff as you sit at the table, and you're actually charged for that from the moment you sit down. So once you kind of walk into a restaurant, you kind of locked in. You can leave if it's not for you, but it's kind of awkward if you do after they set all this stuff at the table for you. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
they set all this stuff down for us, like the soup and all this other like garnish, all these things, and we get the menus, and I immediately used the Google Translate over it to see what it was. But they beat me to it, right? And as I look up, I got three mean glances staring at me, right? And I'm just like, bro, I'm so sorry, man. And they're like, hey, bro, is this translated right? I'm like, yeah, that says pig's feet. It's like all of it, right? Everything on the menu was a variation of pig's feet.
Dude.
Then I'm like, no, that can't be right. It has to be like a mistranslation or something dumb. Because it looked wrong. Like it looked like it said pig's feet. It said pig something, right? So then we're we're like, Sheila Hamnida, all right? We get the staff to come over, and then they're like, translate, like, what does this say? And then the dude says a plate, and he goes, oh, pig's feet.
Dude,
Well,
I would pay
man,
for the stuff they sat on the table and just dip. Forget
he
it.
would have just left. I took one for the team. I could post a. I'll send a picture to you later if you want to throw it on the screen because it actually you wouldn't know that what you were looking at was pig's feet if they didn't say it's like all variations of pig's feet. Like one thing was like really spicy. One thing was really like. Unfortunately, I had to eat the majority of it. I took one for the team because they.
Was it okay? Was it good?
It was actually surprisingly good.
Dude, you're
All
gonna
right.
make me
Alright,
throw up.
alright.
That
Especially if it's,
listen,
like,
man,
spicy, like,
it's
I feel like
gross as it sounds, right? It slapped. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. I cannot pretend that it was disgusting. In my head, I knew what I was eating, and that put me off. But in actuality, I can understand why that restaurant was packed. That restaurant was packed. That it was good. It was good. But would I eat it again?
I don't
Probably
know.
not.
I
Probably not.
mean, it was probably better than the one thing we had, the first time we went to LA, at the hotel restaurant. What was that? It was like what
Who
was
was
it? Pig's
that?
ear? Was it an
Yeah, it was
ear?
pig's ear. We ate pig's ear.
I
We
was
just
like, I don't know
collectively.
about that.
I remember the like collective like I wouldn't say pained expression. We just like ate it and agreed like, huh, not gonna order that again.
I'm not gonna lie.
It was kinda like we all had the expectation, we were like, "Well, they're selling it, so it's probably, like, decent, like, it's probably
Has to
good,
be.
like, I haven't had it before, maybe, like, we'll try it, right?" And then, like, we tried it, and it was like, "Oh, no, like, this is" our first impression should have been, like,
This
maybe
did
not for
not live
us.
up to the hype.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I would I was so hyped to try so many American food chains, and 98% of them was so bland and lackluster. I don't think you guys season your food over there, man.
Where did you eat? Where did you eat?
All right. Uh, Chipotle, lackluster, disappointed. I don't get the
Might
hype.
be it. Might
Uh,
be an argument for that
That
one.
had to
I've
be the
never
one you
really
went
had
to.
Chipotle, so I don't have an opinion on that.
That had to be the one you went to. there's some good Chipotle and there's some not so okay Chipotle. Like there's some bland Chipotle, but Chipotle in general is pretty
It
good.
was the one down the street from our hotel, kind of towards Compton. Uh, anyways, that was so bland, and like they had no sauce options. Like they had salsa, mild, hot, and spicy. But like, what about the other sauces, like the
They didn't have
lime
queso.
creme, queso, and all that stuff?
You know
Where
what it sounds like,
Yeah,
hero?
it was
You
rough.
should
Yeah,
have tried Qdoba. I'll die on the hill. Qdoba's better than Chipotle. Fight me, haters.
honestly, I believe
depends where
you.
you're at. There's some places. There was a no, I'm not gonna say the name of the place, but there's a shopping center close to me that they have a Qdoba and they have a Chipotle. I went into the Qdoba because like I was justly there's a movie theater right next to it. Was just at the movie theater, so I was like, I'm gonna get something to eat. I went to the Qdoba. Everything was burnt. Everything. I was like, how do you burn like lettuce and stuff? I was like, everything was burnt. I was like, I'm not coming back here. I was like, somebody must have had a bad day. Somebody got a phone call in the middle of cooking. Like something happened.
They
This
threw
is
the
bad.
lettuce on the grill. They're like, "Fuck you
What?
guys."
I want that to be the review. 1 star. How do you burn lettuce? I
It
would
was
be so
bad. Every
curious.
I don't know if they like actually burnt the lettuce or the lettuce just tasted burnt because everything else was burnt. Like the it was bad. But
And as they burn
yeah,
lettuce.
so like I hear like Kudo is better than Chipotle and I'm like that has to be like a local thing. Or like it has to be like it depends which one you go to.
It depends, you know? Like, there's a restaurant chain that's like a sandwich chain that everybody loves called Penn Station. And I went to
Yeah,
Penn
yeah.
Station in Kentucky, and it made me hate Penn Station. That was like the worst
Mhm,
experience of my life. Not from the
mhm.
food, but also I just don't like Kentucky, man. I think I'm a Kentucky hater. I've
Mm.
Yeah,
never
you were
had a good
saying
experience in Kentucky.
KFC is Korean fried chicken for you now, right?
It's Korean.
Dude,
It's Korean fried
KFC
chicken.
slaps here. KFC is so good.
KFC is good everywhere but in America.
That sucks.
There's a local KFC I have. It's a combination KFC Taco Bell.
Yeah, same
It
here.
is
Same
great.
here.
It's a fantastic like they whatever they do, they make it right.
Yeah, their chicken and tacos are slapping in the combo ones.
Hero,
Mhm.
Firelight. I gotta like petition. I don't know who I could. I say petition as if like next time cares in the slide says any like saying this. I gotta petition some corporate entity to fly you both to Michigan, so I can take y'all to like the real food places in the
Bro,
Seattle
I could
South.
drive to Michigan. It's not that far.
Yeah, technically you could drive there. Yeah, you could drive there.
Yeah,
I
I
ain't
can drive.
driving that far. Hell no.
You could.
Dude, it would
You
take me
could,
like
but it
4
would
days.
be a 4-day trip.
Maybe not in winter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't do
I'll
that.
say that.
also, I know everyone's gonna hate me for saying this, but In and Out also sucks.
No, you know what?
I I tried In and Out as well. I was not I was not impressed. I was like, "You know what? This wasn't like I was expecting like McDonald's but a little bit better."
Uh-huh.
Um and it succeeded in that. It was like, "All right, this is better than McDonald's like on
Nah,
average, you know."
Canadian
But
McDonald's
it
was
was
better than
not
that.
Oh,
but it was not like it wasn't no Burgatory. It wasn't no like Five Guys, you know, like it
Oh, Five
wasn't
Guys
like
is good.
yeah, it wasn't at that level.
You
It
know what was
was
better than In and Out? That place we went to eat at next to Anime Expo. What was it called? The burger place? Was it just called Smash Burger?
oh, that place was pretty
yeah, I
good.
think so. That was pretty decent.
The
Yeah,
place was pretty
That was
decent.
decent. That
that
was
place
good.
was better than In and Out easily.
For how busy it was too.
It was so crowded.
Yeah, that's so wild. What do you mean you weren't there?
Oh, and then when you gotta call me out. For context, I was not
Wait,
there.
you didn't see him, Hero? He was behind you the whole time.
Yeah, the giant rat.
Why is there a rat eating a smash burger?
Dancing while eating the burger.
I can say I very well could have been at the actual expo with you guys in the rat suit, but that would have been a dead giveaway.
Yeah, and then you would have
Yeah.
had to pay for your pass now.
Oh, due to
There was an
circumstances,
extra
I would have
pass.
had a free pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he message you about it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, they were in cahoots.
I gotta
We
tell you
like,
something after
did
this podcast. I don't think we should talk about it now,
no, fair
but
enough.
Okay.
I think you know Rixie, the
Mhm.
people, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think it caused
Uh,
any harm now, but
I'm picking up what
we
you're
we need to
putting
change
down.
topics
yeah.
a little bit. Hero, what have you been up to since like the last time we were on here? Like just in general. I know
Okay. Let's see. Started a new job under NDA.
mhm.
um, Started making lo-fi music, which was a journey.
Those are pretty good by the way. Those slap.
Thank you. It's
Oh
what I do when I
man,
can't
I gotta
sleep.
find I gotta find something to do with the one that sent me.
Yes, yes. I don't think I sent MabiNerd his yet. Uh, I don't think so. You know what? You get the
Send me that. Send me that.
huh?
I got like choice overload on like the tracks. You just, I was gonna say, just give me one that you definitely want me to do. I'll lock it on that.
I was like, man, you know what? I don't know what might catch his attention in terms of flow, so let me just send him the whole thing, and maybe he'll take something from there. But so I guess you did get it. There was one titled just a MabiNerd adventure. Um, but yeah, the lo-fi music has been like, when you're too tired but you don't feel like playing anything because Mabi's a
Yeah,
little grindy. Uh,
yeah.
I just been
Requires a lot of attention.
yeah, I just been kind of messing around with that in FL Studio. Um, so with that, I previewed number 4 on stream the other day. I'm just waiting for Land to send in vocals for a song to open it up, and then that will be done. Did I get up to? I guess
Her
it.
vocals are
Huh?
so good. Her vocals are so good, by the way.
Yeah, I was trying to get someone from the Mabi community, and much love to all of you out there who I reached out to, but y'all flaky as hell, man. I couldn't wait any longer. I love
Listen,
you, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Guilty as charged, bro. Guilty as
no, I
charged.
don't even mean you. You guys, don't worry. You're
No,
all
yeah,
good.
I've worked with a lot of the community as well on making a lot of different tracks. So I get it.
I'm like, all right, cool. Here's 4 beats. Let me know what you think. If you can't work with them, let me know. I'll make another one. Tell me what you need, right? 6
Mhm.
months later, nothing. Nothing. I'm like, all right, I'll kick rocks then. I see how it is. Um, anyways, I really don't care. I suck it up. Move on. Um, Mel Mixer. And what I've been up to since. Yeah, so we went to the Mel Mixer. I stayed
Mhm.
in LA for an extra 4 days. Thank God, because after the mixer, I was wrote off. I was hungover. Um,
Yeah,
so
we missed you. We missed you when we
yeah,
were
I'm
filming
so
the
sorry
shorts.
about that. I felt
It's
so
okay. I
bad.
understand.
Um, I actually
Yeah.
tried at one point to get up and get dressed. I literally ended up throwing up, and I was like, "Oh no." um, so the next day, I was actually wandering around downtown LA. Uh, it was a holiday, so everything was closed. So I was kind of like shit out of luck
Mhm.
there. Um,
Mhm.
but I was looking for a tattoo shop, and I ended up walking past one. And I was like, "Huh, interesting." But they had a little QR code, like you couldn't just walk in. And you had to book an
Mhm.
appointment. And as I was doing that, the tattoo artist came out. They're like, "Are you my appointment?" And I was like, "No." I was trying to book one though. And she's like, "Oh, well, since my appointment's not here, come on in." And so that was super sick. Uh, get the little Soul Streamers now tattooed. Uh, Now yellow. I don't have tattoo permanent, so like anything I get on my body, I'm not like, am I gonna regret this in 20 years? It's just,
Mhm.
it is what it is. Love it though because old people walk up to me and tell me I'm gonna regret it when I'm an old man, and that I look like a coloring book, so that's sick. That's fun.
What?
Yeah, dude.
I've
Um,
never heard that one before. You look like a coloring book.
yeah, and I don't know what to say. Also,
Thank you for the compliment. I don't
yeah,
know, man.
yeah, it's weird. And another weird thing I have, like, I know I'm getting tattoos and people are gonna see them, but I don't know how they react when people say, "Hey, man, nice tats," because in my head I perceive it as like it'd be the same as walking up to someone and being like, "Wow, you got nice skin," and it's like I don't know, it's weird and icky to me, and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
No, what you gotta do is just rattle off the artist names. Be like, this one was from this person, this one's for that person. If you want a recommendation, this person did a great job, but you're gonna have to travel.
Okay, funny thing is, almost every other day, somebody asks me where I get my tattoos from. Like they expect
Mhm.
over the course of my life, I just got it from one place, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, I got this one here, and then I got this one here, and then I got this one here, and then when I moved here, I got this one, and then this one I got over here, and then I recently went to LA, and that's where I got this one, and they're like, whoa. I'm like, well, you asked, man. Um,
Yeah, I feel like it's like really rare that somebody gets all their tattoos in one shop.
yeah, especially
I
if
feel like
you're,
it's really common that like when you have like multiple tattoos that they come from all over, or like
mm-hmm,
different places, different memories, you know?
exactly. Um, sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. Um, so new job, LA tattoo, lo-fi music. Uh, started streaming to live up to the name Soul Streamers, since a lot of you guys apparently think if we don't stream, we aren't Soul Streamers. So
Yeah. That misconception is constant. It's like, yeah, like technically I've done live streams, but that's not really where I'm at. So
yeah,
I feel that.
it's mostly a play on words, you know, like
Because it's a soul stream.
pipe down, little guy. It's a play
Yeah.
on words, you know.
Mhm.
You know,
Um,
I get really peeved when I read that only because it to me, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to click and see like it means if somebody says that, basically means that they only glanced at the blanket definition of the title and then didn't look any deeper than that. So like I
Yeah.
always feel like I always pour one out for my Mobby tubers who don't primarily stream because we be catching strays for no reason sometimes,
Mhm.
literally no reason.
yeah, dude, I
And
was
I'm
on Reddit the other day, and somebody's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" I checked his Twitch, and he hasn't streamed in 8 months. I'm like, okay, but if you would have just clicked on YouTube, you would have seen everything else.
For real.
exactly. Or the other comment is like they don't meet the qualifications. Again, if you click the other thing, the other app, you'd see, oh, never mind. I see now. It's like it takes one click, right? To
Mhm.
to answer the question instead of pushing I'm not gonna say straight up misinformation, but actually it is that's basically what it is. You're basically pushing a statement that's just straight up wrong.
And like even on Twitch, like nothing is forever there. Like it all eventually gets wiped, unless you know
Yeah.
you're like a top streamer. I don't think their VODs stay forever either.
I
Nope.
don't think so.
So like
Nope. My archive's on YouTube.
yeah, exactly. So if you're looking to see what content someone's doing, if you don't see anything on Twitch, my brain goes to check YouTube.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
just me, I guess.
I'm like getting to this point, and I don't know if it's because of the sheer amount of situations where I've had to clap back this year alone, but I've gotten to the point now wherever I see like a statement that's just dumb, I tend to like wanna just chime in and just like I kind of want to engage, but it's like no, you shouldn't because it's just gonna make things worse, right? You gotta kind of just quietly ignore that when that happens.
So clapping back, either people will unanimously like agree with you and you'll be a hero for doing it, or everyone will turn on you and there's no telling which one it'll be.
Rolling the dice. But
Oh,
there was a moment where I did have a back and forth with somebody for the same reason, And it was extra funny because it put me in a weird spot where they basically said I don't qualify for the program. Why are you on it? I'm like, uh, but I do qualify for Soul Streamers. Otherwise I wouldn't have been accepted to Soul Streamers. They're like, but you don't stream on Twitch, like at all. I was like, all right, well. I gotta stop. Like I started to
Yeah,
type
same.
something and then I
What
was
do you
like,
want?
no, never mind. But then something happened that was really funny. Many months later, full circle, I saw their username in the chat of a live streamer that was reacting to my videos that was talking about how I've been making videos for 11 years. And then they're just like, I didn't know that. It's like, oh, well,
That's so
well,
funny. Like,
people don't do research, man. It's just, I think that's just a fact at this point.
yeah, sincerely.
Other news. I'm unbanned on Reddit.
Yeah, I saw that. Congrats.
You're unbanned?
Yeah, it was. So this is funny. I'm trying to find the exact message that they sent me. Um, I don't know. How do you get to your messages on Reddit?
Oh, I have no clue, man. I doom
They
scroll
moved
on
the
Reddit and
button.
that's it.
Getting rid of
They're
that.
like, they're like, you're not supposed to know how to do this. So also, we're just gonna make it impossible for you to find.
I don't know.
Uh,
Reddit's really weird. You know what? I love the Mabi community, but the people that tend to flock to Reddit, man, it's just like they're so aggressive.
yeah, I'll paraphrase because I can't find it. But essentially, the message I got from the mod was, "Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, you're unbanned," and that was it.
I thought you were permabanned.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
You
I
know
think
what?
that
The Reddit must be slowing down. They need to drive up engagement.
I
Yeah,
think
they need
Rich
the
Kids
villain
has
to
a
come back.
target trained on his back. Like he's on. Just don't slip up, man. I think that their hands on the button.
Do
If
what
it's
they
like
want.
that passive aggressive in the message of like, by the way, you're on band.
Listen, I proved that I can survive without them. I think they can't survive without me. So this is them trying not to have to apologize. No,
Dude,
I
after
know.
this goes live, you're gonna go back to Reddit and you're gonna be banned for saying that.
Immediately reband.
Listen, I could do a V2 of the diss track. That's okay.
Dude, you should record going on Reddit and title the video "Speedrun Ban on Reddit," and that's it.
Nah,
My goodness.
nah. I don't look to cause problems. It's just
I have
problems
a
find me.
weird issue with Reddit. I was trying to post updates while traveling abroad to Reddit, but for some reason, they won't post. They won't. I don't know if it's the bad internet or what. And then my posts got flagged as suspicious because they were
Oh
stuck in
no.
upload hell. I was like, oh, I
Mhm.
give up.
You're like, forget this.
Either one of two things happened. Either it uploaded what I was trying to post 40 times, and I spammed the subreddit by accident, or it just I don't know. It didn't upload at all, and it's like got flagged as spam, and a moderator had to look at it, and they're like, "No, no, not this."
They might have deemed it. Oh, speaking of Reddit, did you guys see that very wholesome Reddit post on Mabi? The very, 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 very wholesome one.
Is it actually wholesome?
Yeah, which is
I didn't see it.
surprising, right?
I'm
Anyone
not
want
sure which one you're talking about.
anyone want to take a guess what the wholesome post was? Like, I'll give you two
Okay.
shots each.
If it's is it unanimously considered to be wholesome?
Yeah.
It was a is it a new player looking for friends?
No. No.
Is it producer letter related?
No. All right, you're out.
Damn it.
Ritzy, you're next.
I don't suppose this has to do with the Knights trend. So
No, those
I'm
were
gonna
entertaining,
say,
but no.
yeah, that's not like wholesome. Um,
That's one.
ah, wasn't really like a guess. I'm like eliminate. I'm talking out loud. I'm thinking through my thoughts out loud. Right?
Well, that counts
So
as
I'm,
one.
I'm like I'm
It's a
pretty sure it's
rule.
not the Knight one.
Hero, ban him.
So
Reddit mods.
I'm joking.
was it maybe like somebody was like found an old friend
No, that would be wholesome, but no. Um,
Can I swipe my credit card for another answer? Question.
yeah, it'll be another $5, Receiver, if you want additional guesses.
Listen, we didn't
My
get 3
God.
guesses from the start. Like, what is this?
Yeah, it's 2.
Uh, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. It's gonna get me in trouble. um, all right. So somebody posted. It was a very popular post. They met their partner on Mabinogi, and after 10 years, they finally got married. And they posted wedding pictures, and it was just very oddly wholesome. And no one said anything bad on it at all. It was very nice. Very nice.
That's super wholesome.
Oh, I see it. I see it now. I was scrolling for a while.
You cheater.
So it has 791 upvotes right now and 81 comments. 2 awards.
Yeah, that's good for a Mabinogi post, you know?
You know, as baffling as it sounds, I think it's actually really common for MMO players to meet their partners on the game. I think back
Yeah.
to like those World of Warcraft weddings. I don't know, man. It's because MMOs are changing online worlds that it's like the soft spot between uh a public VR space, like VR chat or those types of games where it's like a social space in a game. So
True.
you do make genuine connections with people. It's like navigating a minefield. Don't get me wrong. You can meet some interesting characters on MMOs that you probably don't want to meet in real life. But when you meet the right person, it's pretty peak.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's not something I could ever do because with my luck, I just end up getting catfished.
It's you know, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. I'll admit I got catfish once. It was pretty funny
How'd you find out?
because I learned how to reverse Google. Okay, all right. I was in extreme denial, but out of pride, right? Because people, this was like the early days of Mobby when I was in this guild, and I had a friend who talked so much smack about me because he knew from my childhood that I had a bad track record with having girlfriends, right? Because I recently got very verbally and openly confronted and put on blast. He's friends with me via Facebook, so he's the only reason why he knows this. By somebody who was my girlfriend when I was in middle school, who got mad at me because I forgot I had a girlfriend in middle school.
Oh, well, it's middle school. Like, that happens.
Exactly. Are you like? I'm like, what was I more concerned about in middle school? Beyblade and Pokemon. I did not. I had a girlfriend
Yeah.
going into middle school because I was like hard programmed. Like, oh no, you're supposed to have a girlfriend. My big brother, you know. So
Let me guess, all you guys
TLDR,
did was hold hands?
bro. I don't even know if we did that.
Okay, yeah.
I asked her out and she said yes. And then a year passed and it was when I went to middle school. So I asked her out in elementary school, which is you definitely shouldn't be having a girlfriend in elementary school. And I remember going through middle school and then by the end of it, she hated me and I didn't know why. And then uh, we reconnected through mutual friends. Like, and she made this big post about it. Not like actually upset at me at that point, but just joking about the whole thing, saying you were so oblivious to the fact that you had a girlfriend throughout all of middle to freshman high school.
Dude, you were the one for her. Why?
I felt bad. But I digress. The joke being, I don't, I'm not a good guy. I'm not good with relationships, right? I'm like, no, I'm gonna get a girlfriend. Watch me. And so this was before the term Riz was like coined, but I tried in real time to talk to a girl and get a girlfriend in Dumbarton. Channel 1 Dumbarton. Don't do this. Dear viewers, to this day, I'm going to say, don't do this. Don't cold approach somebody ever. Because realistically, you're going to get ignored. But if somebody responds to it, there's a high chance that they're just a catfish.
Honestly, Mabby, yeah.
I I remember talking to this girl. I don't even remember her name was like it was something stupid. Like I'm just gonna say noob girl with a bunch of numbers. All right. And we hit it off, right? we hit it off. I fell in love with this girl, right? I got her into the guild. And do you guys remember the trend of having a guild website?
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
like everyone would use the same website to host their guild site. I forgot what it was called, but like everybody had one. And it had a pseudo forum where you could have a profile picture, right? We only communicate in the game, and then I saw a profile picture on that website, and like everyone's talking about, it's like, man, she's probably not real. I'm like, dude, shut up. She's very real. Obviously, she's real. I'm talking to her, idiot. Whatever. But then we're talking on Skype, and a buddy of mine's like, hey, bro, is that your girl? I was like, what do you mean? And I look at the post, like, yeah, she's gorgeous. What the hell? She's like some Japanese supermodel. And then he's like, MabiNerd, I want you to think about this. Now, I'm not trying to like dish you or anything, but like, you think you can pull someone that looks like that? And I was like, hell yeah, I can. What are you talking about? But then I'm like, but actually, I don't think that's actually her. I think she's just using that profile picture because that's just the girl that she likes. That like fits her aesthetic. It was like some like gothy looking
Oh, the
it was
classic
Hellgirl.
early 2010s
It was
catfish.
it was even worse than that, right? They were using a picture of the live action adaptation of Hellgirl.
Oh no.
And the way I found this out was our guild leader when she's like, I'll figure this out for you. And then she asks, "Is like, is that you in your profile picture?" And then she said, "Yeah." It's like, case closed. Like, so you were Hellgirl from the live action adaptation of Hellgirl, and then post the YouTube clip. I died. I was like, "Say it ain't so.
You
Say it
know,
ain't so. It's
yeah.
not real, right?" And then they just fessed up and said, "Yeah, look, man, I really just I liked that you gave me stuff in the game, and I was into it."
You know what? I think everyone's been there. For me, it was in Maple Story. I never found out. I was young at the time, uh, and I never had a chance to find out because we exclusively chatted in Maple Story.
Yup.
So by the time I moved on from Maple Story, I also left her behind, and we just never spoke again. So I'm hoping from my
She
younger
was
self
real.
that it was in fact a female.
What if you log back on the Maple Story like years later, and then she's like, "It's been so long since you've logged on. I, you know,
I've been
I've been through a
waiting.
lot. I've been waiting. I wanted to tell you this whole time that I'm secretly I'm trying to think of like as a random celebrity, a random
Who
celebrity.
was a big
Were you gonna say
celebrity?
Beyonce? Were you gonna say Beyonce?
I was gonna say Beyonce. You caught me, bro.
It was like really big in 2010s. Like she's like, yeah, I'm actually really Megan Fox.
I'm really Megan Fox, bro. Megan, I'm Beyonce. Why'd you call me out on that?
I'm Beyonce's sister.
It's me, Beyonce's sister. Man, you know, this is actually crazy to me. But it's Run JDM. I actually like had multiple encounters where I was in that guy's inner circle and I didn't know that he's the son of the grandpa from the Boondocks in Friday.
Really?
Yeah. Like he used to show up in he'd always collaborate with Dashy. And that's was like, wait a minute, what's he doing in a Dashy video? That's
Oh,
crazy. And then I'm like, wait a minute. No wonder the last thing with it, oh my goodness, this all makes sense. He never once used that or said that or mentioned that until later when his dad passed away and people kind of put it together. It's like, oh wow, you were the son of a celebrity, a pretty big one.
yeah, that's crazy. Before we get too off topic, you can say pass on this, Rixie, but I have to ask: have you ever been
Huh.
catfished?
Catfish? I don't think so.
Not
I
to
don't
your
think so.
knowledge.
Not to my well, I try to
Oh,
avoid like long distance in the first place. So online stuff
I
doesn't
respect that.
doesn't stick.
valid.
I learned my lesson, that's for sure. Anyways,
If it's what I think it is, sure did.
It is
Anyways.
absolutely what you think it is.
Oh. Anyways,
Well, I'll tell you what I was up to. I built a tank set.
a tank set.
No,
Oh, in
yeah,
game. I thought you meant
yeah,
like a little Lego set of tanks.
I thought that
No, that
too.
would be
Like,
cool. That would be cool, but no. I built a tank set in Mabi. That was like something that happened since the last time we were on a podcast together. And I gotta say, it's effective. Nigh immortal.
I'll
It's
be the
great.
judge of that.
Listen, we were doing crom runs. Me and Itze were doing crom runs yesterday, so this was kind of timestamp this. But was it yesterday? Sunday. It wasn't yesterday. Sunday. We were doing crom runs on Sunday, and we were doing like a duo run of like crom 50% or something like that. We got in a room, and there's just a bunch of mobs. Right? It goes down because there's a bunch of gunners. It happens, right? It's
Yeah,
one
Crom
of, we
sucks.
had we had double pursuer spawns.
Crom's
It
good
was
until
bad.
it goes
Oh,
bad.
Yeah, so it was a trap room with double pursuer spawns and like wraiths and carries and everything else, right? Like everything's going as bad as it can go. And I am in a corner. I am in Falcon, standing on a glyph, taking ones from a horde of like 40 mobs, just all grouped on me. And I just kind of sat there and I was like, huh, I could probably go get it like a snack.
Did you get a sack?
Yeah, I got a snack. It was good.
No way. So,
I came back. My HP's still full. Like, I'm fine.
I'm not gonna lie.
Everything just wailing on me.
That is actually very impressive.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Also,
Every time there's like one of the like hammer guys, right? The Gwalgoths, whatever they're actually called.
hmm,
Every time there's only one of them left, I just get into a melee 1v1 with it because it's funny.
absolutely iconic of you. You need to upload one of those runs.
I did today.
Oh, that's why I didn't see it. I'll have to watch that later.
It's kind of long.
Can I come clean about something?
What's up?
yes.
So, uh,
Canceled. Joking. Continue. Please continue.
when it comes to like, I guess mostly Chrome, right? I know you
Hmm.
have videos. I know other people have videos. I know there's tons of guides. Mechanically, I don't think I understand a Crom run. Like in my head, I made up the mechanics, but in actuality, I don't think they're the mechanics. Like I have no clue what I'm doing when I go in there. Like I think I know what I'm
I
doing.
have I
But
have a series of shorts that explains the mechanics leading up to the boss room.
yeah, I'm not surprised. And I'll probably
Less than 60 seconds explained.
yeah, I'll watch them. But will any of it
You don't
stick?
have to.
No.
You don't have to.
No, I
But they're
will.
there so that when you get to the room, you can watch it before you do the room, and then you're reminded for like the 2 minutes you're in the room.
The truth is, I don't know. I just wing it and it works.
Oh yeah, no, you could face roll
That's the
Crom at
best.
this point.
Anyways, that's all I had to come clean about. Thank you for listening to that talk.
You're very welcome. Mods,
Yeah,
if you could please ban Hero from the podcast.
Shut up.
yeah, we need to just have this guy removed.
Get him out of here.
I don't know why he's in here. I mean, it just
Not like it's his cat podcast, you know. Oh,
yeah.
thank you, Mods. All right, so now that he's gone, we can actually talk smack. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I didn't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. All right. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
What are you gonna say?
Okay. I'm really glad you asked, actually. I'm really glad you asked. So Hero, a long time ago, right?
Uh huh.
Long time ago, he threw a rock at my character while I was AFK. with EVG on. He didn't think I noticed it, but I know it had to have been him because who else would have done such a thing, right? I
We're talking
wasn't
like the big
AFK.
rock or like a small rock?
It was like a small rock.
Okay, so not meteor strike.
No, no.
So
Okay.
that actually wasn't me, but that made me think of something. So sometimes when I AFK, I don't have EVG on or PV like any PvP settings, right? Uh,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I come back the next day and I'm in a completely different location. I don't know,
What?
and I don't know how people are doing it. And it doesn't happen enough to the point where I'm like, all right, let me record and take up all this space on my hard drive. Um, but it's happened to me 4 times in the last year where I'm chilling outside the Moongate Channel 1 Dumby, and then all of a sudden I'm way up by a dungeon.
They could be luring like a bear or something over to hit you over there.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That'd be weird. I don't know why somebody would do I don't know how they do it in channel 1, but
I don't know either. You know what? People hate content creators in Mabi. People would let that
yeah,
happen.
That's true.
they'd be like, "He deserves that. Out here making videos, how dare he?
How dare you make videos?
How dare you entertain the community that we're in?"
How dare you?
How dibbity dog dare you?
Also, I'm not sure what the next topic is, but I just want to say I just passed 3,000 subs the other day.
Let's
Crazy.
go!
Congratulations.
Thank you. I thought so. Realistically, end of 2023, it was going really fast, right? And I was like, all right, in
Mhm.
6 months, I'll be able to pass 3,000. That completely died off. I was losing subs. Don't know why. But then it picked back up. That's 3,000. It's just weird, especially
That gets
since it's mostly
interesting.
Mabinogi.
There's some like meta reasons for that. So like you could say like with the tech changes where there was a tech limit, a lot of people stepped away. So like there's like I noticed it. I know some other people commented on it. I think Codevoon mentioned it to me too, where it was just like a dry air like a dry time for content. People aren't really looking up stuff for the game, and that
Mhm.
kind of followed the tech changes because it was a really unpopular update. A lot of people quit. Um, and that didn't start to pick back up until very recently. And we've had some big name streamers come in and start streaming the game on a regular basis now. We've also had a lot of really popular updates hit recently, so the game's kind of in an upswing now. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when you log into the game now, it's like half the channels are busy, um, and sometimes channel one is even completely full.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen.
actually couldn't log in the channel one the other day. Like, normally when it
Yeah,
says full, you can still log in, but it's like, nah, not happening this time.
so I think
No,
related to that, a lot of our channels are gonna get, like, an upswing in subscribers and stuff like that, and viewers. Um, that kind of follows, like, the popularity of the game, I think.
I've been very surprised to see more people who don't usually or who are revisiting Mabinogi streaming it more. And some
Mhm.
like big personalities online, like that VTuber Pippa,
Yep. Yep.
Pimpkin,
Pippa.
Papa, Poopa.
Uh-huh. Pippa.
Yeah, he was I had a very funny experience because I got randomly inboxed by her, and I'm like, "What the hell is who is Pipkin Pippa?" And then I look on their profile, and as I'm looking on their profile, they're live streaming, and I see my tweet where I went into a photo booth in Japan and it bleached my face white, and they were reacting to it. So I look earlier in the VOD, and they're talking about how they're revisiting their old character. And
Hmm.
I just thought that was interesting. Well, I thought it was interesting for 2 reasons, actually, because there were 2 things that stood out to me. I've seen people talk about wanting to join the program.
Bro, you're telling me there's a possibility we could be on the same Twitch team as Pippa?
Yeah,
Bro, that'd be wild. Me and Poopa be best friends. I mean,
Poopa's cool.
I mean,
Poopa's cool. All right, Poopa's a homie. I had some people who didn't like Poopa and said Poopa might be a little poopist, but you know what? I was like, Poopa plays Mabinogi, so I don't believe those allegations. They're cool with me.
Yeah.
You
Saw
can't play
saw
Mabinogi and
y
be poopist. It doesn't work.
I saw Pippa used one of your songs as an outro.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
you know this.
And a
Yeah. Oh, hold
DMCA.
on. I'm sorry. I like flashback. I'm still stuck on the last thing because they were reacting to like some videos, and I just
Mhm.
cringed out of my skin because I'm like, no.
Like, there's
It
new
was a
ones.
different
Use the
time.
new ones. It didn't have to be
Yes,
that one.
no. There
Did
was a
you
video. I forgot about this. That there is a clip in an old Mobby IRL where I chased the truck at the end of the
Oh,
video.
I
And I
remember
want to
that.
clarify, I wanted so bad. It was a bot. It's too late. I couldn't. Like, I wish I could clarify because they're like, why did he do that? That's so weird. And I wanted to clarify that in that moment, I thought I knew the driver. That would turn out to not be true, and it was awkward because they did stop. And my friend stopped recording as the truck stopped because he knew, oh no. And they just stared at me. I'm chasing him strumming a guitar, mind you, side shuffling and strumming a guitar. And he just stops and stares at me like, do you need anything? And I was like, sorry. And then I went back to my house.
Bro, that guy must have. Imagine who he told about that after he got home.
Guaranteed. Like some weird dude, some weird black guy just like chased me strumming a guitar and then just stared at me blankly and said sorry and then just walked away. I'm never driving down that street again.
Now, my
He was never
question,
heard from again.
after having them react to you, right? Because it kind of feeds into like react culture, right? People say it's not beneficial. Did you see an uptick in your views or subs?
Well, all right. So not I saw like a little bit of it. There's been a slow uptick, but only towards two specific things. I've seen a few more channel subscriptions, but I don't know. Whenever I upload a new Mabinogi video, every so often it reaches out to people who've played Mabinogi in the past but don't anymore. And then they go through that whole time to play Mobby again, and then they subscribe. But then they don't fully because they never really fully engage with Mabinogi content, then they don't engage with other videos later.
Mhm.
So it's like I see a rise and like fall again. And I recently uploaded Confetti Cake. So I don't know. It doesn't show me the full metrics on like how many people subscribed off Confetti Cake yet. Well, let me check. Maybe I can see
It
because I
might be in
have
like a
Should
got.
day
show
or
you
two that
now.
you'll see
Yeah.
it.
I only got 2 new subscribers, so I think I did get more new subscribers. I mean, off of Confetti Cake, I got maybe 10 or 11 new subscribers from them reacting to the video. If I had to guess from where I was at, because I'm at 5,714, and I was 10 less prior to that. Maybe 2 of those came from Confetti Cake. And I saw a lot more, not subscribers, but in my analytics, I did notice that Kickback and Mabinogi shot up to one of the more popular videos, not in recent uploads, but in my top content. Like right now, it's number 1.
Yo, which version?
It's it's the Alucine, the collab
Okay.
one. But what's crazy
Yeah.
is someone else in my Discord, Twilak, pointed something out to me that I completely forgot about. And I'm like, man, that's like some. If ever, I'm not saying this will ever happen, but if I was ever popular enough for someone to do like a deep dive on my videos, that's like some secret lore because I didn't even realize the versions are different.
Mhm.
But not just because like I do the standing and tier Chanel line, but
Mhm.
also the song's progression and the way it ends, and because I messed up one of my own lyrics like a dum dum, they're fun. They're very different listening experiences. I thought it was funny,
Yeah.
but
You
there's a
mean
chance.
you intentionally changed them, right? Make it a
No,
deeper experience?
yeah, I definitely did that on purpose. That was what I meant to do, and I
I
totally didn't accidentally delete the other version and then have to rebuild it. That didn't happen.
that also yeah, that didn't happen. No, I saw the original, and um, I was like, oh, I have a feeling I know like what he wanted to do here. I was like, oh, there's that vocalist we used for the Fiverr video that I think would sound really good on that. I sent it over to him.
You came in clutch doing that, by the way. That was so cool. I was like, "Yo, that was awesome." Kickback is probably like
We
one of my favorite.
Yeah, we've learned something from that too, like with the layering of the vocals and everything that he showed.
Yeah, yeah, that's like a whole method. Like getting more insight in how producers and artists actually layer their vocals when doing the vocal parts.
Mhm.
If you
Very
want
Lon does
a
Lon does
gr
that too.
if you want a great study of like layered vocals done by a musician, I'm telling you, listen to Lil Peep. I know people might say like it's emo rap and stuff like that, but all his songs are like layered vocals, and it really adds something. Like it's not like super emo rap, but
I'm gonna
layered
take you up on that. I'm
layered
gonna listen.
vocals. That's all he did.
I'm gonna do it. I'll check it out because I do want to learn more about that. I want this next coming year to be the year where I like fully jump into music for a lot of reasons, but
Mhm.
also because I do want to get better as a lyricist and vocally. I want to get better when it comes to delivery, mixology, flow. I've been experimenting with different types of flows
You
because
could
I
do
want to
Confetti
find
Cake
like.
was a banger.
Thank you,
Mhm.
man. Thank you. I was trying a couple of different things with confetti cake, and I hit a few Easter eggs. You caught a bunch of them, so
Yeah.
I put a big smile on my face. I like I wanted confetti cake to be this like this this letter, right? This intro, this birthday into like a rebirth, right? This is like, hey, I'm gonna step into something a little bit different, and I want to take people along for the ride. And confetti cake's like the intro, and I want each song to maybe connect a little bit, but we'll see. I'm
Dude,
working
just
on another.
if you deep dive layered vocals, one thing Peep did amazingly was all his songs were layered, right? So like they
Yeah,
were just different tones. And then for songs that he wanted something to stand out in, like Raw Emotion, he would cut all the layers so it was like his roughest vocals, and it would just like really hit. Like the beat would cut out, and then you would just get the one like rough vocal, and it would just hit, man. It's a great deep dive. I think you'd learn a lot.
I'm gonna do a deep dive on that because I love that stuff. Love it. I want to
Well,
poke more people's brains when it comes to music.
if you're looking to do some mixing and mastering, I got a lot of projects on my plate right now that are
Let's
working together.
go.
Who's mixing and mastering?
Yeah. Oh, the vocals. Vocals. I'm doing a lot of vocal mixing and mastering and tuning. Ooh.
Hmm.
We have Collabinogi coming up. The Collabinogi Awards. There are going to be 3 new songs that are being released and premiered at the Collabinogi Awards. So make sure to check
Okay,
those out.
okay.
Those are in January. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but you could very easily find those. Um, so we're working hard on that. We're working with people that we haven't worked with before as well. So it's been an interesting journey, and it looks like the trend will continue where there's going to be a lot of like collaborative
Oh
songs moving
man, I
forward.
could have submitted a song for that. Damn.
Uh, we do mostly parodies because those are easy.
Like like
There's a streamer and creator Discord that a bunch of content creators are in, and the
yeah, I'm in
content
it.
creators vote on the yeah. There's so many people in there,
Oh, so
so
it's
it's
other
not
content creators voting for other content creators?
yes.
Oh, okay.
I felt
Or
so
just
out of
say
the loop.
thank
I'm
you
like,
and take time.
man, if I had known everybody was making a skit for for the acceptance speech, I would have I would have done something too.
Right?
Mine's
Mhm.
all normal. Hey everybody, I really appreciate this award. Thank you so much. Everyone else has this cool blockbuster video for their acceptance speech.
I'm sorry, but you stood out like a sore thumb, my man.
I know. I like recorded it in my room off my phone, I think, too. On top of that, because I was having internet, I'm having issues, which is it's just a trend right now. I think I just can't get a break. I've just been having constant connectivity issues. Like going back to the whole Pippa stuff, they uh they asked to do a cover of Kickback, and I couldn't send the files because I had no internet on my computer, but my Wi-Fi was working, my phone. So I'm like, I gotta move the files from my computer to my phone. But my phone is still full of. I don't want to delete. I have a bunch of footage from the trip that I don't want to delete yet, so I don't have space on my phone. And I'm trying to figure out why the hell my Wi-Fi works, but my hardwired Ethernet connection does not.
I'm gonna hit you with a big brain idea, and I know hindsight's 2020, right?
Uh,
Um, when you plugged in your phone to your computer, why didn't you just drag and drop all your files off your phone onto your
there's no,
computer?
there's no space.
Oh, brother.
My file. Look, man. I kind of acquired. Unfortunately, I didn't want to, but I acquired some other work through my the theater I work with. So I ended up archiving like I think 15 different shows for footage, and I'm ready to just like put it onto some kind of online storage and delete from my computer because it's been frustrating me so much. I need more space. I need more space. I'm hoarding. Also, this stuff I just gotta delete. Honestly, I am hoarding like old video projects, files, audio recordings, gameplay recordings. My file management is kind of poopy. I'm not gonna lie. I could have done something. I could have made that work. But in the moment, I was like, screw this. Why isn't this working the way it's supposed to?
My poor man's. I feel bad.
It's bogus. It's dumb.
Okay, so it's sorry, my brain's trying to do 900 things at once. I'm overtired. But uh, Rixie, you were
Is
talking
this
about something before I cut you off, and then I
was
also
I?
yeah, it's what you've been up to,
Oh,
Mabinogi Awards music.
Oh yeah.
uh, no, I was just talking about the tank build. I think that was a while ago. No,
Oh,
man, this episode's gonna be a long one, isn't it?
it's still not gonna be as long as our 5 hour one.
I don't know. MabiNerd hasn't even talked about his traveling yet.
All right, great segue. Take it away.
Do you guys want me to really talk about? Okay, wait. I'm trying to think of like a good
Bro, I'm
story to
curious.
share.
What was the whole trip like? I got like glimpses of like little things from like live streams at random times that
Right?
were like not the best connection. So it's like I'm not even sure what was going on in those live streams that I did
I'd be
catch.
waking up and
I'm
it'd say
curious, man.
3 hours ago, MabiNerd was live.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right,
So a
start at the
better question of
beginning.
what? All right. So you know how I made that documentary for Mabinogi, right?
Yeah.
So I have some friends who are filmmakers, and they saw that, and they got super inspired, and they wanted to also do something like that. They have some light connections in the industry when it comes to like other gaming stuff. So this was like one part Mabinogi, one part filmmaking with friends, traveling to each location and meeting networking with other content creators at each stop. So there's like I'm in a bunch of people's videos, and I'm just eagerly waiting for those to be uploaded. I'm gonna share a bunch of those. And two people you might recognize, Rojinjin and Aki. I'm in their videos, and I got some video. I got a video I got to upload that they did with me, where they showed me a PC bomb. But I've been on like this ambassador for Mabinogi trip. That's what I'm kind of calling it, because some of these people play other MMOs. Some of these people also play Mabinogi. But I've also been kind of networking for other reasons, entertainment reasons, because it's been a lifelong dream of mine to get into the entertainment industry. I've always enjoyed making goofy videos, songs, and just trying to be a character, you know? And over time, I've made connections with people who work in those fields. So I got to meet those people in person. So that was also a part of it. But in doing so, I kid you not, this has landed me in some of the most bizarre situations that you cannot make up. All right. I'll tell you one story, and I'm gonna slowly post the pictures to prove it. All right. Because this is one really dumb story, and this happened in Korea. All right.
All right.
So I just got back from doing a video shoot with some people who play Valorant, and they tried to get me to play Valorant with them, and it was a horrible experience. I'm
Valorant's
just gonna
hard.
say it right now. I hate Valorant. Okay. I'm a certified Valorant hater. No offense to anyone that likes Valorant, but I had this joke and it happened. Whenever I play Valorant with somebody, they just get mad at me for almost like no reason. Like they'll explain the rules. My biggest peeve is if somebody shows me a game, right? And I'm new to it and they explain the mechanic and I say, "Hey, okay, but like I'm not quick to pick things up right away. So if I get this wrong, don't get mad at me." And they say, "Oh, no, that's all good. It doesn't matter." And then they get mad at you anyways, right? That happened the whole time. All right. This person was super nice, very cordial. Like, all right, I'm going to show you how to do this. And then went on this long rant about fat footing. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? You're using game
what is
terminology on me and tell me to stop doing something, but you're not explaining what that terminology is,
yeah,
right?
what is that?
Fat footing is running.
They couldn't just say running?
They could have just said running. They could have just said running. So like I'm really just like curious to see this video because it's so obvious in the playback that the they're irritated with me. But after that, right, I had a lot more free time. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of upset because I didn't really like the whole attitude switch. Like you know, you meet someone, you think they're cool, and then you find out afterwards that they're kind of a jerk. Whatever, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get canceled for saying that. I don't care if that bridge is burnt. You can post that. They were kind of a jerk. But I'm walking around an area called Hongdae. All right. Now in Hongdae, there's like Hongdae is borders on this area that's like an older district. There's a lot of bars. Really fancy place. It's near a campus. So there's lots of students, younger people walking around, a lot of tourists. It's just like a busy place. But if you go like right off the beat of Hongdae, there's this old there's like this alleyway that has like all these old shops, chicken restaurants, and places. And as I'm walking by, I left a bar. I'm like half sober. Okay. That's how much I hate Valorant and hated the experience. That they drove me the drinking. I'm just gonna throw that out there, right? That I went to the nearest bar. I have a friend's bar out there, Yon Bar. If you're ever in Korea, go to Yon Bar. Tell my boy Shoyon, I butchered his name, that MabiNerd sent you. He's a gamer. He plays Mabinogi. So you have that as a conversation piece. But I left his bar half sober because I vented to him about how much I hate Valorant. And he vented how much he hates League of Legends, which I thought was funny. But I was walking past this large group of old men holding up this sign. All right. And I didn't want to walk them like, oh, they must be like they're celebrating something and then they're taking a group photo. So like I walk backwards and I wait. And this dude who's holding the camera like waves his hand to tell me to go past. I walk by and then like I don't know why I looked back, right? I looked back and this other old guy's like waving his hands to have me come toward them into the picture. So I turn around, like, well, what does he need? Something? I walk toward the picture and he literally pulls me into the picture and he says, "Oh, no, pose." Like, what? And then we take a group picture, right? All right, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna post this in the group chat because I look so out of place. I look so out of place in this picture.
Man, I have so much editing to do for this one.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But you look at this picture, right?
Dude, you know what that reminds me of? Like family reunions, and there's like that one random X in the photo forever. That's what you are.
The random ex, the dude whose hands up in the air is the guy that pulled me into the picture, right? And they're like, so for context, as you see, it says ROTC 23. They're
Yeah.
ROTC veterans that just
How
left the restaurant.
why
Dude, you're gonna be on a wall
I'm more
somewhere.
confused.
Say what?
I'm now more confused.
Yeah, right? So like these people all were like so in Korea, it's like mandatory that you do time in the military. And my guess is that they like I don't know if they went all in on it, like full service, or if they're just reminiscing their times in ROTC, like whatever their thing is. They are all old men who had military experience and reminiscing about their war days, their days in ROTC or training, or some people were abroad working with like training purposes and stuff. One guy, the guy on the far left, who my hands on his shoulder, he is a news anchor man now, and he's the guy that sent me the pictures and stuff. He sent me all these pictures. I'm like, I need proof. No one's gonna believe that this happened. They were convinced because of my haircut that I was also military.
That's
And I kept
wild.
trying to say, no, I'm not. No, never. He's like, no combat experience. Like, no, you're just being nice. He said, you have a sniper haircut, American sniper. Like, I've never held a gun in my
Not the
life.
American sniper line.
And they just kept going with that. And I couldn't leave, right? I got like in the restaurant behind us. They went back in the restaurant. I got like pulled into the group, so we're eating at this restaurant. They keep giving me chicken and beer. Like, I gotta go. I gotta go. If I drink anymore, I won't make it back to my B&B. I'm still like, this is like my second day in Korea. So like and I'm in an area that I'm not familiar with. So I'm just like, I don't want to screw up. Now I'm not too far away from my accommodation, but I'm far enough. I leave, I get away from them, right? And I'm walking up the street, and I don't know what possessed me to stop. I'm looking at this restaurant, this sign. I'm sorry. No, well, you can't see it. I'll show you the picture. It looked like I had like a high top that's like past its prime. I don't know. It's pretty clapped. I'm not gonna lie, but I digress. I'm looking into this chicken and beer restaurant because I'm like reading the sign. Uh-oh. Are we good? We still here?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, I thought I crashed. Sorry. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this into this restaurant, and I'm reading the sign, and the owner of the restaurant runs out, and it's like, no, we have seating. I'm like, no. I was just, and he pulls me into the restaurant. And this is the thing, man. It People are so comfortable with just pushing you into businesses in Korea. At least around Hongdae, specifically around clubs, but I was very surprised he did it at the restaurant. And he sits me at a table. Mind you, I'm more drunk, so I just accept it. And as I sit down, who comes pouring into the restaurant? All the ROTC dudes who converge on my table. So now I'm stuck at another table with more chicken and beer. And their boss, like their main boss comes through is talking to me, and they're like saying like, no, you're with us. You know, I get all their cards, their business cards. They're like, if you need anything, call us. And I was just stuck. I was so wasted that night that I don't know how I made it back to my B&B. And when I woke up, I had secondhand embarrassment because there's a chain of convenience stores. I think it's called CU. Apparently, I drunkenly walked into a CU, and I was trying to talk to the person behind the register because they had a One Piece thing, and he remembered me. And he's like, One Piece fan. It's like, what? It's like, and he talked to me, and then I remembered. I had like a That's So Raven like vision hit me. I was like, oh no. I do remember talking to you about it. I'm sorry, bro. I was really obnoxious. I never went back to that convenience store, but that's the story. How I got held hostage by Korean ROTC veterans. and
That's
forced
crazy.
me chicken and beer for the entire night. And when I left, they just found me. And they showed me the
Huh,
golden
wow.
combo too of taking beer and then taking a shot of taking soju and pouring the soju into the beer. So those guys wanted to get wasted.
Hmm.
That's one ridiculous story that happened on the adventure, and that's one of
Okay. Of
many. I don't want to like overshare. We will do another story another
course, of
day, but
course.
that's one.
So, what are the like, what are all the places you went to?
So
'Cause
I
I know you
went
were
to
all over.
man, it was crazy. So the original plan was supposed to be Vietnam, Taiwan, Korea, and then Japan. But for a lot of reasons, Taiwan didn't happen. Unfor-
Hmm.
Unfortunately, the people, excuse me. Okay, so I see the people we were talking to in Taiwan went pretty radio silent, and that
Oh,
kind of
no.
fell apart. So Taiwan wasn't a thing anymore. And then we found out why afterwards, and it was really for sad reasons
Oh,
that
no.
I can't share. But skip Taiwan, trade
Mhm.
Taiwan for Vietnam. They screwed up. So they were under the impression that you could just go into Vietnam with your passport. No, you can't. You have to get a visa, and it's a process of applying on the website through their government website, and then getting that application sent back to you for approval to go into Vietnam. So we got stuck in Japan waiting for approval for 4 days.
4 days, wow.
4 days we got stuck in Japan, staying in a really tiny apartment because we were going to do it as cheaply as possible
Yeah.
and as close to the airport as possible, which was an experience in and of itself. But when we finally got approval, we went to Vietnam, and that was an interesting experience. I would go back. I actually really enjoyed my time in Vietnam, but I didn't have any internet for that entire trip, so I didn't have any live streams. All I could do was post pictures to Twitter, and I have a lot of videos that I had to make. But we
So,
met some nice people there.
next time, do the visa thing before planning to go
Way
there.
before. You wanna do that well in advance. The person that was organizing the trip for us was an idiot, and they screwed us over pretty badly on that one. And also sub and financially compensated us for that, because the trip is supposed to be all covered by a third party, and they made good on some promises and didn't make good on others. I have to be really vague about a lot of this stuff on purpose, unfortunately,
Yeah.
for
Yeah, it's ongoing, it's ongoing.
but, that was the trip to Vietnam was really special because, um, I got to meet people who are, like, aspiring, and up and coming content creators and videographers making, like, music videos, commercial people who are, like, going through all that stuff,
Hmm.
and being able to, like, connect with them and collaborate with them was so fun because you can tell, like, that they got that drive for it.
Yeah.
There was this young man who he's a sick dancer. And he was showing me how to do all these, like, really cool, like, transitions,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to make it a music video. Like, I learned something pretty big. It opened my eyes. But also, like, video stuff aside, just, like, the culture and the community out there, Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, like, people get down out there, and they get stuff done. Unfortunately, one of the first people I was traveling with was a little bit too scared of for some reason being in Vietnam,
Huh.
but those fears were they were convinced that I was gonna be met with a lot of racism. But when I tell you that, like, everybody yeah, I got stared at, but it wasn't, like, with malice or ill intent.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when I noticed someone staring at me and I'd smile, their face would light up, bro. It was so wholesome. I think that
Yeah.
Vietnam is probably, like, the most fun in terms of like just meeting other people and just
They
exploring.
they, they pass the vibe check.
They passed the vibe check for sure, for sure. And also, there's a
Mm.
Nexon office in Vietnam. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
there's a
I
Nexon.
guess that kind of makes sense. I guess they just don't have they don't publish Mabinogi from there.
No, no Mabinogi. It's like other mobile games and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
I tried to go in to visit, and then they responded after I left.
Ah,
I was so bummed.
were they gonna let you in?
They were. They were gonna
Ah,
let me in. They were super interested because I sent them like the YouTube channel in the background. I said if there's anybody
mhm,
that you want to reach out to from the other place, you can to verify. And they were down. They were down.
man,
Responded literally the day I was getting on the airplane, which Vietjet,
oof.
don't fly that airline. Unless you are a tiny person. If you are small, then it's fine. But and
Hmm,
it was like going back in time. Like that airplane is old. The way they have the pamphlets is all like preserved from like a different time before like flights had high security. All the flight attendants are wearing these like old school uniforms. Music is playing on the flight, which was really funny to me. There was like a
mm.
K-pop song when you landed that's playing over the speakers. I'm like, what the hell? Let me put this on spot. And it's on Spotify. I'll pull it up later after this. I'll show you it because I forgot
Yeah,
the
yeah.
name. But there's like a theme song. And so it was funny, but also just like a little bit I was too big for the seats. I felt like a 7-meter titan sitting in those tiny seats for that flight to from Vietnam to Japan. I mean to Korea. And the bus ride, you had to go on a bus to the plane, off the bus, onto the tarmac, then up a tunnel based on your seat, either the front or the back of the plane. And that bus ride, man, people in Korea are so polite because
Mhm.
I was fighting for my life. And this dude, random guy, just grabs my bag to help me hold up, to support me so I don't fall over. Like they're holding me up because they know like I was gonna fall into people because I have to hold this luggage, that all the
Yeah.
camera gear. So he's just helping me hold my bag up like that.
You would
For
never
That was
find
people that
nice
don't know,
people like
camera gear
that.
is heavy. Yeah, camera gear is heavy.
oh yeah,
It ain't light.
it is not. And you know what made me mad? I like for half the trip just ended up using my phone anyways. I used it for like
Like,
some
it's
distinct
wi
things.
it's wild, but, like, phone cameras are actually getting better, so it becomes less and less important to actually have, like, good camera gear because like, phones are just, like, this super expensive, tiny, like, technology that is really good for
Getting
that.
better, but it was just like, could I have chosen of the right time to use my phone versus the whole camera gear? Like I got to
Mhm.
climb I think it's Namsong to Namsong Tower. That was brutal because I brought my whole camera bag and I didn't know that's a million stairs. And when you think the stairs
Oof.
end, they don't end. There's more stairs. I was a sopping pile of sweat. I was dying of dehydration before I made it halfway up. And then
Is
our
that, like,
guide, he's like,
flashbacks to AX?
yeah, it was like AX, but like imagine AX, but then you have like a backpack full of stuff on
Yep.
top of that, constantly climbing upwards. I was dead by the time I got up there. I was so dead. But yeah, that's what I did. And I don't know. It was a it was a fun experience. I think that if I had to rank things, right? Japan's always a good time, but this year Japan was not Daijobu for me. So Korea was probably my most fun experience. Vietnam, they both kind of tied for number one, and Japan just in third place.
Really, Japan third.
Listen, man, I don't even know if I can. Should I? I don't even know if I should share the story of what happened to me in Japan.
I feel like if you're vague about it,
I
I
all
mean,
right.
it's kind of enough to say you were there for 4 more days than you were expecting.
I was there for 4 more days, and then I ended up going back, and the 4 days I was there was, like, super cool, wholesome. The days I got back, I just cool things happened, but I think that was the peak of me just being sick of people and just getting sick in general. I got sick for, like, the last half of the trip, and I got hit with a double whammy, so I got a cold, and then the cold turned into strep throat, so I was out and had an expensive bill from the clinic for, like, the
Mhm.
last half of the trip. But before all that, I, uh, I reconnected. That was where, like, I connected with the most, like, other YouTubers, but that's where I learned that I don't vibe with, like, half of them. I didn't vibe with, like, half the people I was with. I'm not gonna name drop in case they watch this video, because some of them are Mabinogi players. But they did not pass the vibe check. Like, there's one person who was really creepy and obsessed with dating. He's like a passport bro.
Dude, the first I can't tell this, but I've only recently heard the term a passport bro, and it blew my mind. It made me laugh so hard.
It's really funny because if you think of like the poster image of a passport bro, it's exactly what you think.
Dude, so Canadian immigration has been flooded. Like, not to talk shit or anything, but just statistically, a lot of people from India, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of them are chill, but then you obviously get some bad actors, and among themselves, I'm friends with quite a few Indians. They've dubbed a big majority of them as passport bros, and it's my first time hearing it, and it was such a funny iceberg to talk about. I was so blown away by it.
It's so real, man. Passport bros, there's another word for it. They call people back home losers. And this particular person got called. So there's a girl in our group, right? And he tried to date this girl in our group. And it set the vibe off because when he got rejected, like they were kind of the glue that kept everyone together. So it really just fell off from then, right? But she called him a back home loser, and that just made the vibes go from off to hostile. So it was just very weird. Very
It-
weird experience there. I got in a fight with like 20 scammers. I'll just say it. I got into an actual like the game Yakuza where you're like walking down the street and then it says like the thugs appeared and then you go into a fight sequence. That was me in Shinjuku.
so wild.
That's a little spooky.
I told Hero this. Hero knows the more detailed details of that. But when I say it was a brawl, it was that. It was that. So that really like also slowed the experience, and that was a direct result of just traveling with the wrong people. I think that it got needlessly escalated, and it didn't help that once again in this situation I wasn't sober. I was leaving a Halloween party, so like
Ooh.
yeah. I'm not saying I got beat up though or nothing. I got sucker. I got one. They got one good punch in, but like they were low key kind of cowards, so it didn't really matter. I had the height advantage. I'll leave it at that. It isn't one of those things where like I'm gonna fight this guy and post a video later. I ain't posting that. I got beat up. No, I would have posted that video. I would have happily posted that video. In hindsight, but I'm trying to think of anything else like noteworthy that's like relates to gaming that I could talk about. I got to see PUBG headquarters.
That's sick.
Where's that at?
That is also I don't know if it's like their main place, but it was roughly in the same building as Nexon.
It's what, like Tencent, I
That
think?
kind of makes sense.
I think Tencent owns them. Yeah. It was so funny. I felt like a traitor because I'm like I feel like I've been here before, and I saw the Nexon sign, and like we're sneaking into PUBG. So I got to meet the people who work on the who do like the anti cheat,
Hmm.
and that was like really cool. At first, they said something, and I thought it was like super racist because he kept saying his nickname is the Chinese Killer. I'm like, is this racist? He's like, no, no, no. I'm like, oh wait, because his job is to keep optimizing and stopping exploits. they have a huge problem with players from China going on the game and
Oh.
cheating.
Yeah, a lot of like hacks and stuff and like cheats typically come out of China.
Yo, so that's why they called him the Chinese killer because he's banned like so many hacks and exploits, and he keeps updating it to catch stuff like that. But that was like a super interesting experience to see how that goes. I got to eat the chicken dinner. I ate chicken dinner at PUBG, so that's a video that's gonna come out at some point.
Hmm.
But I promised them at some point I'd make a PUBG rap, even though I don't play PUBG. So now I gotta actually play. Would you guys want to
I
make a
mean,
PUBG rap with me?
I'd be down, but like I play Apex. I don't play PUBG.
Don't say that.
I
Don't say
listen,
that.
listen, okay, here's the problem, right? I tried to play PUBG and it wouldn't run on my computer. I don't know
Oh,
why. To this day I don't know why. Like I click play, nothing happens. It says I'm playing the game, but nothing happens, right? And then
yeah.
Apex came out, and I was like, well, I guess I'm playing Apex because Apex works. So it's not PUBG's fault that I don't play PUBG. Is that well maybe it is because the game
It's probably
didn't
PUBG's fault.
actually, but that was very early on. That was before it was like its own like
Can I tell you something funny, MabiNerd?
Yes,
You might punch
please.
the air, but you know what? Maybe Nexon's punching the air because Tencent is like within their like top 5 competitors. Anyways,
Traitor. I'm a
Tencent's a
big
top
traitor.
5 competitor to everybody though. They own so many things.
that's true. Honestly, they're buying up a lot.
Well, they
Aren't
kept
they like a
making me stressed. I'm
major
like, oh, I'm a Mabinogi. He's like, shh.
Yeah.
And you know what though? I think that rival culture is so real there though. If you work for like one company, like I'll use the car companies for example. If you
Mhm.
work for Kia, right, and you drive a Honda, you're toast. So I think that's real. I bet you that it's the same thing. I bet you like if somebody from who works for like PUBG plays Maple Story, they're like, "What are you doing?"
Honestly, yeah, especially in Korea.
I bet. Now, one thing I did learn from Korea that I thought was really funny is that apparently PC bongs are some of the most violent places when it comes to beef.
Really?
Yes, so much drama. And Rojinjin was telling me this. He said there's a specific spot outside of a PC bong where he just sits there and just watches people argue. He's like, there's always arguments happening at PC bongs. They are the
Hmm.
drama centers of beef spilling offline, and they don't know why. I think I do. You put a bunch of gamers in one plot. Like I did a Valorant video with a guy and he got mad at me. So I already believe it. I do believe
Yeah,
it.
If we
But
ever
multi-competitive games, yeah.
we all ever end up in Korea together, we should just visit the PC bongs and sit there for a day.
just watch. You could theoretically do that because they're 24 hours. So you could just sit there,
Mhm, mhm.
just watch and just behold the drama unfold in front of you. But yeah, that was the way somebody else worded this to me, and it was it was the cab driver. Because which is extra. This is what I mean. Like gaming culture, it's so bizarre how like intertwined gaming culture is out there in Korea. That this cab driver was an old man, was talking to me about League of Legends and Kart Rider. Kart Rider makes more sense than League of Legends, though. If you think about it, statistically,
Yeah.
there's like an actual thing. Statistically, since so many people have played Kart Rider in Korea, that you could talk to someone's grandpa and they've probably played it or know of it. Kart Rider is just a household name in Korea. It's like the Wii Fit game board
Like it's
of
like
Korea.
Mario Kart over here.
Yeah, because because Mario Kart didn't come out in Korea for a long time, and it was online, it was free, so it just was super widespread.
Mm.
Everyone was playing Kart Rider. There's so many variations of Kart Rider. That's why there's like at Latte World, there's a Kart Rider ride that's very underwhelming and not worth the wait ever. Don't It's just not worth it. Like to call that a Kart Rider attraction is kind of insulting. You're showing this high speed, high octane gameplay, and then you're only allowed to go at like a mile per hour on what is essentially uh, two of those hoverboards strapped together with some with a cardboard exterior to look like it's a cart from Kart Rider. But the environment was very nice and the music was nice.
Mm.
Everything else about that ride was not nice. But Kart Rider was a household name. And that guy said something to me that stood out to me. He's like, people get so angry out here. Like he says, where you're from, they have a lot of guns in America. And it's a good thing that guns aren't legal in Korea because we would all just shoot each other. It's like, whoa, man. Whoa. But I think he been doing some PC bongs because that's where the conversation came up with that. It is segued to that out of nowhere. I didn't bring that up. He just started talking about that.
Huh.
So I don't know. Any Korean viewers, you tell us like, is the heat hot at the PC bong? What's going on there?
I kind of wish we had like a little bit more of that kind of a thing in the US.
Yeah,
It'd be cool to have like a spot to go to game and all that. Like I don't know. There's a little bit to it that's like it wouldn't work, and that's why it doesn't happen. But at the same time, I mean, there's a little bit of that with like local game shops for like card games, but there's not really anything like that with
Yeah, if
like
they
I
had,
feel
PC
like
gaming.
it's how you sell it.
Yeah,
I don't know, if they
If you,
had
yeah.
anything like that here, like in North America, honestly, it'd either get robbed or like a bunch of teens would trash it.
Mm.
probably, I mean,
I mean, you could just trap
unfortunately,
everything down. Not good, not a good solution, but like I'm sure they do. But
if you sold it as you have like a lot of high quality gaming PCs that have accounts that are available for you to keep logging on to play games, I think like it could have the library effect of people who just don't have home consoles coming out. But I think home gaming consoles being more prevalent and popular
hmm
are kind of what killed the modern day like
there's,
arcade.
I think there's also something to be said of we don't have the infrastructure, like, network-wise to support
That's
like, they
true.
have incredibly low ping
Yeah,
basically
that's
anywhere you
true.
go out there, and our country like, just North America is so large and sparse that it would be really hard to have, like, good connection at, like
And let's be honest, we
you know what I
also have a
mean?
government that for some reason is insistent on saying that we don't need faster internet when they could like roll out plans to do have faster internet infrastructure, but they
Yeah.
always make the dumb excuse of we already have a standard that nobody needs faster, nobody wants faster internet. Everybody's saying they want faster internet. Nobody wants faster internet. We don't need faster internet. Yeah, okay, bro.
What's their up and down
They
speeds?
Let me
huh?
check. What is my up and down?
Like your download speed, upload.
Speedtest.net.
Speed test.
Let's see.
Mine's sitting at like 1.2 down and then 100 up.
I feel like Hero, you're gonna probably want to cut out a lot of me just rambling about stuff. I feel like I talked a lot.
Ah, dude, that's the whole point of the podcast.
Yeah.
I get some timestamps for certain things, two things, but
Okay. I wanna I want to preface the speed test results here that while it's still calculating, but I want to preface the test results with I live in the middle of nowhere,
That's true.
absolutely nowhere. Um, so the fact that I have decent connection at all is you know wild. 269 down, 23 up.
three's up good. And 23 up is good.
Mhm.
269 down, 23 up.
Yeah.
Brother, I live in the middle of the city and I have 15 down, 13 up.
My God, it's bad in America. Like when I said mine's
That's what
like
we're telling you.
1.2, I meant like gigabytes.
Yeah, no, that isn't happening here.
Let me do another test. Maybe because it says Chicago. Hold on a second.
And like that's what I'm getting when I'm not streaming, I'm recording.
Let me
hmm
see
hmm
if I do a Xfinity.
Yeah, no, my ping on Mabi is so bad that I cannot pass the Succubus Queen hit check. I was telling you about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got to kill the Wraith and summon a pet on it because there's zero chance I can pass that. And the same hit check is in Glen hard mode with
Uh-oh.
the second boss. So I can't do it.
Past that hit check, I would have to probably reforge my guns, right?
No, it's not a reforge. It's you need to activate Way of the Gun because Way of the Gun has an attack speed bonus. You need attack speed and attack delay.
That's my issue. Yeah, I always come so close, but never.
Yeah.
This speed says that my download speed is 325 and my up is 22.3.
Oh, that's good.
I'll
Yeah.
tell the truth.
Yeah. That's about where I'm at.
Man, you guys got it rough. But like our prices for internet in Canada because of it is so bad.
Hmm.
Like we only have like three big companies that provide internet, and other than that, it's like they have monopoly.
See, you're lucky if you have
Worst
three
thing.
options. You're lucky you have three options.
You usually got one, one or two.
Was it not? My like the options we have out here are like we have two options. One of them's bad, just outright bad, and the other one's expensive. So it's like because nobody wants to run a line out here. Nobody wants to like service. There's not too many people out here, so like there's not the profit to like because you have to actually run the lines.
Yeah.
It's not. And then the other options are like satellite stuff, and that hasn't been good in the past.
Dish
It's getting better.
network. If
It's
the
getting
wind
there.
blows the wrong way, it's cloudy, your internet sucks.
How much are
Hmm.
you guys paying for your internet?
I couldn't tell you,
Oh,
like, because it's like 300, but it's combined with phone and TV and stuff. I don't know how much just the internet
oh,
would be.
gotcha, gotcha.
Paying about $68 right now, but it's gonna
Oh,
go up.
yeah, okay, yeah, I'm paying just internet, right? 110 US.
Damn.
Yeah, it's 155 Canadian. Crazy.
Yep.
Okay. Why are you chuckling?
Wait, what happened?
Huh?
I zoned out because I opened Twitter and the first thing I saw was
Porn?
deep dive into cockroach farming.
Is that where we end the podcast for this episode?
I think so.
That seems like yeah. Deep dive into cockroach farming.
Well,
Bye,
everybody,
guys.
have a good day. Night.
Bye.